Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Normally, I would be hosting the Total Bases podcast. That's a baseball podcast. But let's face it, it's a fantasy baseball podcast primarily. So I figure, you know what? I do other fantasy sports. Let's let's do something for fantasy basketball. NBA tip-off is just around the corner. October 24th, I believe, is the date. That's the opening night. So we're looking forward to it. And we're live here at the Basketball Life Facebook group. It is a group that we admin, guys like Vince and Henry. Well, I don't know about Henry. Is he still an admin? I forget. But basically, Dong City crossover. Jacob and Leon also are a part of it. So there's your Step Back podcast. Not sure which flag this will fly under or what am I doing here, but we're gonna go ahead and just roll with it. It's like something I've been wanting to do for a while. And we are starting fresh. A little bit of a background on this league. It is a fantasy points league. And we don't do the aggregate amount. We do the average amount. So if a player plays 3 games and what do you call it? They get you 150 points. What is that? I can't do math. So I think that's 50 points per game. So you get 50 fantasy points for that, for your troubles there. So instead of 150 points, you get 50 points, right? Divided by 3. Yep, that's how it works. Obviously a bucket is worth 1 point. An assist is worth 2 points. Blocks and steals are worth 2.5 points. You get a quarter of a point bonus for offensive rebounds. And of course, you lose a point for negative. You can lose -1 point for a turnover and a full point for the rebound itself. So that is the kind of league we're in. So unfortunately, people are going to be asking, well, what about their shooting? What about their free throw shooting? What about their 3-point shooting? Fortunately, I have not been able to find a way to value good shooting in a points league as of right now. But if anybody has any ideas how to do that, let me know in the comments section below. And I am all ears. I would love to incorporate that. I'll have to run it. That's something I also want to discuss with the rest of the league, but we'll have to figure out a way to make it work in a way that everybody can agree upon. Aside from that, this was a keeper league. So we start out keeping 1 player, then 2 players in the second draft, and then 3 players in the third draft. This is our 4th draft here at CVS Sports. So we start over every, 3 or 4 seasons? 4 seasons, we start completely over. We start fresh. So no keepers coming into this year, but we have the idea and the mindset that we will have a keeper player for next season. So with that being said, that is your background to this league. It's been going on for a while now. Now we bring in the star of the show, the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet, yeah. This wouldn't be a podcast with yours truly if I didn't have a chance to share a spreadsheet. Make sure I'm actually sharing the right one. And there it is. A lot of turnover in terms of ownership. We actually lost Leon for about a week and then he came back. But in the meantime, we gained 2 new members, I think, in Ricky and Alex. So I'm happy about that we were able to find replacements for guys who couldn't play and participate this season. So I am thankful for that. Looks like the thing isn't showing. Oh, wait, here we go. I'm just looking at the Facebook Live and see if the spreadsheet's showing. There it is in all its glory. The 2023-2024 Basketball Life Draft spreadsheet. So you see Leon with the first pick overall. He is our reigning champion, but because of complications and knowing whether if he was coming back or not coming back, he ended up taking another person's ownership spot. Alex Robertson took Leon's spot at the 12th spot, as you can see down there. I got all the names listed. So Leon, who had Nikola Jokic throughout the first batch of keepers, gets to keep him again. Nikola Jokic, the reigning MVP, not just in the real life NBA, but also in fake sports as well. And aside from that, that's how Leon was able to win championships. But Leon, you're going to see the picks that Leon makes. He has a very interesting manner of doing these things. And it's both kind of head scratching, but at the same time, it's worth admiring because I wish I had a little bit of what Leon has. But, we both have different ways of doing things in terms of strategy and draft strategy, I should say. Harvey with the second pick is Luka Doncic. Bob, who is you're gonna hear Bob's name a lot. He has like a million draft picks in the first 10 rounds or so. He got Giannis. So the tank worked for Bob as he starts fresh and he gets Giannis within the top 3. EJ's team Strike Force gets Joel Embiid, and then I get Super Amen Brothers. I am the Super Amen Brothers. Oh, who we got there? We got James on the line. How you doing, James, man? I get Super Amen Brothers. I am the Super Amen Brothers. Oh, who we got there? We got James on the line. How you doing, James?
What's up, brother?
You gotta turn on your volume
yeah.
Speaker.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, go ahead. In the meantime,
Hold on a second.
Yeah, go ahead. In the meantime, that's very annoying. I'm talking here and I hear the echo. Okay, you mute yourself. Okay, thanks, man. Well, I was getting to the 5th pick with my pick. I ended up earning a top 5 pick for my troubles. And I ended up getting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. For the last 3 or 4 years. I had Luka Doncic, hoping that I could win with him. I've always liked these playmaking point guards in the mold of Jason Kidd and Rajon Rondo. Luka Doncic was the next in line. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring a title home to Team Felipe, so I'm starting over. I didn't get a chance to get him back because Mike Harvey had a top 2 pick, so he was able to get him. And so I ended up this is something I discussed with other people in secret that, if I have to start over next season, I think I have a real good shot at getting SGA on my team. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. One of the few guys that can actually, as you guys can see, the average fantasy point per game for SGA is 48.1 points per game. However, I do believe that he has the ability to throw some 50 pointers out there as well, 55 pointers, even 60 point days, and even some weeks where he'll average 60 points per week. It looks like Pinos is still on mute. All you have to do is turn your volume down.
Yeah, I think it's working now. I had to mute the other screen. It was the problem. I had the other screen open.
You're doing dual screen out there? Check.
Yeah.
Okay, now perfect. So let me do one more pick on my own here, and then Damian Lillard goes number 6 to Jacob's team. I was thinking about it, but I kind of hesitated, and I realized, Damian Lillard, safe floor. I don't know how much upside he has left. James, am I overthinking this about Damian Lillard? Is he still worth a top 6 pick, or is he going to see some massive reduction in Milwaukee this year?
I'm interested to see how that dynamic is going to work there. Giannis is very centristic as far as, the ball dominance.
That's why I'm asking. Yeah.
And, I was kind of thinking the same thing you were thinking. I was thinking he might even fall towards the end of the first round.
Yeah.
People were thinking the same thing, but, he went right in the middle there. Jacob snatched him up. Jacob's a big Damian Lillard fan. So I wasn't completely surprised that Jacob picked him because I know he loves Lillard. He's been wanting Lillard to come to the Knicks for, like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So I wasn't completely shocked with that pick. But yeah, my thinking was he might slip this year, some numbers wise, because again, Giannis is the center of that offense. Everything goes off of him. He also might get a lot of open shots. So there's that. It could go either way.
It has to be him. I mean, because like you said, Giannis needs the ball.
Middleton hasn't been healthy the last few years.
Yeah.
So Lillard would be the one to pick up that slack if Middleton kind of continues to be in and out.
Yeah, and the way I see it, you can't have Giannis waiting for the ball on the corner or on the wing because
he's not the spot up guy.
He's not the spot up guy. Damian Lillard is a pretty good shooter. Put him on the spot up, but he also requires the ball. And you can't do your turn, my turn offense because that's just sloppy, not in today's game. So I'm sure it'll work, Pinos or James. I call you Pinos when you're not around, but I call you James in person. I'm sure it will work. How it will work, I don't have the mental capacity or the vision in my head to imagine how it will work because Giannis needs the ball, Lillard needs the ball, Giannis can't shoot, so therefore maybe Giannis should be the one, running the offense and have Lillard play off guard or off the ball. But Lillard's getting up there in age 2. This is what his umpteenth year in the league, and he's in his mid-30s already. Does he have the physical capabilities to keep doing that?
It's kind of similar to when Holiday first went over there. He was better off the ball. He's going to play defense. They lose a lot defensively by swapping those two guys. But Lillard is a better offensive player, I guess, at this point than Drew is. But they lose a lot defensively.
Yeah.
Drew does a lot. Drew did a lot of the intangibles out on the perimeter that Damian's just not capable of doing.
Yeah, so it's going to be quite the adjustment. That's why I like I said, good players want to play with each other because they believe that they can make it work. All right, we're going to see what's going to happen in Milwaukee. We're going to see what's going to happen in Phoenix, and how those point distributions are going to be handled there. But I as of right now, it's a nice pick. It's a safe, extremely safe pick. But with the first top 6 pick in the first round, you want guy in our format, James, as you found out recently. I mean, this is what, your second year, right? In this league. Yeah, if you can get a guy who can just give you those spike weeks where he goes above and beyond his averages, that's the difference between winning and losing in this league. So, but does Lillard have that kind of upside at this stage of his career? I'm not sure. But I like to say that it's less likely than a sure thing at this point.
I mean, to me, it's kind of like in a lot of fantasy leagues, your first round pick should be somebody who's the guy on the team.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Damian fits that.
No, because he has to play second banana. He has to play second banana.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, to me, your first round pick in when I draft, I'm always looking for the guy with the first round pick.
Yeah. Is Tyrese Halliburton that guy? He goes after Lillard, and I kept thinking to myself, it's weird to see Tyrese in the first round, but I guess it's the new world, brave new world that we're coming into, and he's basically, I mean, unless I'm wrong, unless I'm not thinking right, but isn't Tyrese just a younger version of Damian Lillard at this point?
Yeah, to a certain extent, I would say that. I mean, his numbers last year were great. He helped me win a different league.
There you go.
Because he vastly outperformed. I got him in like the 5th or the 6th round in a different league.
Oh, dude.
That's a daily league, and he far outperformed that, easily.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I like Tyrese. It's still, I'm not used to seeing him this early, but I guess we have to get used to that.
He fills the stat box, every single box.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. So a really good pick. Who made that pick? Primo made that pick. And then Ricky does an interesting pick because as much as I was happy to get SGA, I was thinking about getting Jason Tatum too in the 5th spot, but he goes number 8 to Ricky. Jason Tatum, top 5 pick next year, maybe, Pinos, in redraft leagues next year.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, again, Tatum was another guy that I kind of thought I might get at 10. I was surprised I was surprised where I ended up, honestly.
Yeah, so if Tatum goes top 5, who do you remove from this list? Who's out next year then? Luka?
Probably Lillard.
Who's out next year then? And I see EJ's on board, but he has to mute his speaker out there.
Oh. I just heard a voice.
All right, let's see here. What do we got? Let me pause this for a little bit. All right.
Gentlemen.
All right, testing. 1, 2, 3. How you doing?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just was about to mute you, but it looks like everything's working just fine. So did we get to EJ's pick yet? Yeah, Joel Embiid. Oh, EJ, you were so close to getting your guy, Luka. So how do you feel? You feel you're good to go with Joel Embiid as your focal point here?
I feel like he was probably the best of the rest. I wanted Luka, couldn't get Luka. Joel was I usually believe that you should go big early, unless you just have a superstar guard. Luka was the superstar guard. He wasn't there. Joel Embiid was the pick.
No, if you didn't get Joel, I would have gotten Joel, despite the injury history, despite the murkiness in Philadelphia. I think Joel is one of those guys. I was just telling Pinos, you need guys that can at least come close to averaging 50 points per, at least one guy that can average 50 points per for game here in this league to find any sign of success. And I think that's a really good pick, because I would have done it. But as I was asking Pinos, if Jason Tatum is a top 5 pick next year, who are we removing from the top 5 next year? I'm always curious about that. What, we remove Luka because he's always injured? Do we remove Joel because he's always injured? Do we remove Giannis because he can't shoot, and Damian
Possibly.
Lillard?
injuries are always the great equalizer. You never know.
I mean, yeah.
And Joel has been relatively healthy for the last 2 years. So we'll see how that goes.
Let's go ahead, Dennis. Pinos, go ahead.
Again, availability, and now with our new playoff format thing,
Yeah,
you can get buried very early in the season, and you're on that top 4 playoff spot, and that changed my thinking through some of the rounds as far as drafting somebody who's already hurt or somebody who has an injury history of lots of injuries. You know, you get knocked out early in the year and you're basically done in this format now that that we set up for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. You know what? I felt like something had to change, especially with I wanted the 22 game regular season because I wanted everybody to face each other twice a year and leave no question, that well, I'm in an easy division this year, and so I'm gonna take advantage of all these weaker teams. None of that this year. Everybody face each other twice a year, and I feel like it's the fairest way to do it. And then either way, we expanded to 8 teams, but guess what? It was very rare to see any of variance, right? Like the top teams always won, or more than likely won than lost in the playoffs. So I figured we don't need 8 teams. Come on, that's just watering down the playoffs at this point. So that's why I went with 4. Everybody else will be playing for draft picks next year. Moving on to Angels team, Trae Young. So I got to ask, let's ask CJ since he just got here as well. Trae Young, Tyrese Halliburton, and Damian Lillard. Who has the better year this upcoming season?
Excellent question. I'm not real sure about where Trae's head at. He's got all the talent in the world. I don't know, about him from a head perspective. I'm not sure what's between his ears. Lillard seems to have his head on straight and, is looking for redemption and trying to validate his career. I'm going to go with Lillard.
James, what about you? Halliburton, Lillard, or Trae Young? Of those combo point guards you see there, who's going to have the better year this year?
I like Halliburton.
Yeah.
Like I said, Lillard's second banana there now. So Halliburton's really who else is challenging him on Indiana right now?
Obi Toppin. No.
Yeah.
You hope.
I hope, yeah.
Well, Obi's gonna get a lot of dunks playing off of Holly. They might actually use him in the pick and roll, which Tibbs was against apparently.
Well, as far as Trae Young goes, I've always liked him, but like DJ says, I don't know what his deal is. He should be playing much better than this. He could be a defensive liability as well. So at times
he could be a defensive liability.
I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. People say, hold on now. People say I'm too critical, and then when I try to be politically correct and be diplomatic about it,
you're critical of certain point guards that you have a dislike for.
No, I don't know. Hold on, brother.
Name.
Well, we're not going to mention because he didn't get drafted. He didn't get drafted. That's why we're not going to mention his name. He didn't get drafted.
We left him for you.
No, we don't draft quitters here, okay?
We left him for you. We figured you'd take him at least as an honorary last round pick.
Sure.
You wanted him on your team.
No, I don't draft
you
bums.
need somebody to organize the orgy.
No, I don't draft any quitters on my team. Sorry, but anyway, Trae Young, guys. Okay, so he is a defensive liability. So if we're gonna strip him with the truth.
I'm always happy to see guys drafted that I had no intention of drafting.
But Trae Young's always been that guy that he has the potential to be those guys that we talked about, Kenny, those spike week guys, right? Oh, this week he went off for 60 fantasy points, and 43.8 is a projected, as you guys can see from CBS. That's nothing to sneeze at, but it should be up here already for a guy of his caliber and the way he can go on these hot streaks that he's been known to. He has all the usage rate that he can handle in Atlanta. So what is he doing with that?
I don't trust him. Trust him. They're trying to trade him for a reason.
I mean, you've heard so much locker room stuff with him, and he's falling in and out with the coach. They brought in another point guard to run his team. And if that's not a red flag, I don't know what,
Yeah, agreed.
I said that last year. I was like, okay, you're bringing in like another point guard. You're giving him a huge deal because you have faith in your point guard. Something's not,
All right, moving on to the 10th pick. Pino's good. Kevin Durant. All right, before I get to you, James, AJ, I want to hear this. Well, you're a Texas guy, so I'm pretty sure you're going to be nothing but positive. But Kevin Durant, the most polarizing player in the NBA, at number 10, you still believe in him?
Hey, that's Kyrie's title. Stop it. Stop it.
I don't, again, I mean, we went from one head case to another head case.
Oh, you guys are rough, man. Go ahead.
I mean, what can you say about Durant? He's weird. He was weird at UT. I mean, he's weird in the NBA. He's just, I mean, all the talent in the world, but again, between the ears, I wouldn't pick him. I mean, he's probably going to score. He's probably going to get his points.
Close the door.
I'm curious to see how they play on that Phoenix team, but yeah, I wouldn't have picked him. I wouldn't want him on my team, and I am a Longhorn.
Well, the sore spot here will be, I mean, the sore loser will be Brad Beal, not because he sucks or anything. It's just he's out of luck. The only way that Brad Beal is gonna maintain any production that we've seen in this league is if he just goes crazy with the assists. I mean, assists are worth 2 points each, but it'll have to be like 10 assists per game. And does Brad Beal have that kind of capability to give you 10 assists per game? I don't see John Stockton in him. So
I kind of think Booker's gonna get more assists than Beal will.
I mean, that was the plan. I think?
Incoming message.
He's more of a willing distributor. Beal is just, I don't know. Again, it's one of those, let's build a super team, but let's not worry about the fit.
No, and that's what we talked about with the.
I didn't understand that trade at all.
With the
like, you needed somebody to come in and just be a distributor.
Right. Well, they
had
one.
That Paul was old, but how is this a fit? You bring in another
from a real basketball perspective, it's great for Beal. He doesn't have to be the man. So I mean, I'm sure he loves that for his career.
Yeah, no. From Beal's perspective, I'm just talking about from the team's perspective. When you've got Booker and Durant, you want someone that's going to set them up all day.
Sure. I thought it was questionable from jump. So, I mean, yeah, I'm curious to see how that team operates. It should be interesting.
Well, I mean, for sure. I mean, Beal is going to have to. He's listed as a point guard, but when I talked to our resident Phoenix Suns fan Corey Decker, he said he saw Booker as the point guard, and I got excited. Ooh, you got Booker as a point guard now, so he's going to be the high usage guard. All right, I'm excited. That should put him in the first round. And then it turns out it's Beal. Like, Beal.
That's what they said, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
It sounds like the situation where you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. It's like they have 2 point guards and they have no.
Again, just because you get 3 guys together does not mean it works. I mean, look at. I always point to the Heat situation with Wade and LeBron and Bosh. Someone has to say, you know what, I am totally willing to step back, and that was Bosh.
Sure.
And if you don't have that guy that fits that role, here you've got basically 3 guys who all want to shoot. That's what they do best. They shoot.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, Kevin Durant, when everybody was healthy, made it work in Brooklyn for flashes, flash in the pans every once in a while. It would make it work with Irving and
Durant's a willing passer out of the post when he's isolated.
Yeah,
he's always been that. I give him credit for that.
No, he's a very special player.
The Brooklyn situation was, Kyrie. He's I'm sorry, he's just a plague on every team he's gone to. There's the issue. And he's already out of Dallas because he made the statement. You all know what statement it was, right?
No, I missed it. What was
it?
I
think Dallas is my home. So it's done. There's a trade request coming by the deadline.
Oh yeah, he's gone.
As soon as he says that, ask Cleveland and Boston and Brooklyn. As soon as he says I'm home, he's already passed.
You're gonna call me crazy, but I think the difference that I am a homer, so take that into consideration.
I got it.
But I think the difference is his relationship with Nico and Kid. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and Lord knows history is not on my side.
And that's not the relationship I'm worried about there. It's the Luka one.
Mm-hmm.
See, so far I've seen him and Luka get along great, but they love each other.
So far, and I want to see what happens in the closeouts, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, I want to see what happens in the court.
Actual,
Well, you got to remember, Luka goes so hard in the beginning that it really is a good fit for him to have Kyrie on the court because
I think
Kyrie
offensively they can work.
into the games.
I think offensively they can work because Kyrie is willing to play off ball as a point guard.
Sure.
But defensively, now you have two holes.
Yeah, I mean, but you're always gonna when you have super gifted offensive players, you're always gonna have that problem. That's why they've tried to really load up.
Well,
on
there's like I tell you, there's a difference between I'm not the greatest defensive player in the world, and I'm gonna score 30 and give up 40.
To Luka's credit, and I don't want to bog down everything, but to his credit, he used to be that guy. He's really not that guy. He is a very willing defender at this point. Not gifted,
but generally what they've done in the past is Luka gets to guard the worst offensive player on the perimeter.
True.
Now you have him and Kyrie out there.
Right.
To me, you can have that one guy. Just the classic example is the Lakers. They would move Magic to the slowest perimeter guy, and you've got the right. You had Byron Scott, you had Worthy, Cooper. It's the same type of thing. But if you have two of them on the floor at the same time, now it's much more difficult to play playoff defense.
It is.
Regular season defense, they'll probably be fine. Playoff defense, it's a lot easier to pick and isolate guys when you want to.
Go ahead, EJ.
Yeah, go ahead. We've tried to load up on defenders, so let's see if it makes a difference. They retooled quite a bit this offseason.
They made some nice other moves. I like some of the wing guys they picked up. Athletically speaking,
so we'll see.
Yeah, because when they were trying to build around Luka and a bunch of role players who play defense, that didn't work either. So you gotta try something different. So we go from Kevin Durant with the Phoenix Sun, and we'll finish it up quickly the first round with Steve. I don't even know what his name is. I thought he got offended when someone called him Stephen.
His name is Goat.
Goat Curry. Actually, yeah, that sounds like a meal right there to me. Goat Curry from India. Goes number 11 to Aaron's team up in Canada, so I'm sure she's happy about that. AJ, you got to tell me, how many more seasons does he have of this high caliber offensive output of Steph Curry here?
Tell me if they're going to sign Clay or not.
Ooh, probably. Would you sign Clay if you're the Golden State Warriors?
I wouldn't sign him.
Damn right you wouldn't.
No. Which means they'll probably sign him.
Loyalty clause, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That's an interesting dilemma. Yeah. I think a lot will depend on how he comes back this year. Because last year, just coming off that surgery, I wasn't expecting a big year. It was a lot at his age and everything. It usually takes that second year, just like with Jamal Murray. Mm-hmm. How different was he last year from the year before? It takes a long time. And to play the way that Clay plays, that high energy, how he chases the guys on defense, it was not gonna look great last year.
Sure.
If he bounces back this year, there could be a little bit of loyalty on both sides as far as the deal goes. I don't think he's gonna want to really leave Steph. They're pretty close. The only place I could see him leaving,
they don't sign him during.
Huh?
If they don't sign him during the season, he's free.
Right. No. But even then, so like I said, that doesn't mean they don't resign him because they'll have his bird rights. It's just a matter of if they want to do it. The only place I can see him going would be if he wanted to go to the Lakers, and because he's mentioned the Lakers before. His dad plays there, so there's a lot of ties there.
Yeah. I can see that.
Make that run with LeBron there at the end, if in a wheelchair. So it'll be. I think he's an interesting player this year to me.
Yeah, in a perfect world, Felipe, he's probably got 2-3 more years.
Again, he could hang out for a while because he's classic Ray. He's Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The shooting doesn't go away. So he might not be a star anymore, but if you had him as your sixth man and knocked him down to like 25 minutes a game, somebody who can shoot and defend at his level.
Sure.
Hear me out. Steph Curry. It's the year 2045, and he's the 8th man on the bench, still going into games just to stand in the corner and shoot threes.
Again, Ray Allen. How long did Ray hang out?
A lot of
saving LeBron.
Oh boy,
that's like a career.
A lot of Steph's game though is running around the court, like a water bug. So, and can he do that? Can he post up in the corner and shoot threes?
Again, all you younger guys, tell me about how the vitamins and all this training, and this man trains like an animal. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
Sure,
running,
sure.
He does so much training, running on, the sand thing, the desert thing, it's all the Jerry Rice thing, the uphill. At his age, he's not slow, he doesn't look slow at all. You haven't seen him slow down. It's just injury-wise is the question.
Right. But at his size, he's got to be fast. Because,
But like I tell people now, I was like, the league now is built for quick, fast guys. Because back in the day, he would have got beat up.
Yeah.
I tell people, I said Chris Jackson was Steph Curry. But by the time the fourth quarter came around, he was in pain.
Yeah.
They would wear those little guards existed. They would just get worn out by the end of games.
Yeah, but I've also seen Mahmoud also torch Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan.
Here's the GOAT.
Oh,
Let's go Curry.
Guys.
Oh, there he is, Jacob.
Oh no,
my man Moses.
Yes, sir, my guy.
I'm looking for you.
Okay, we can roll mixtape now, bro.
All right,
All day. Let's roll it back up. We back.
we'll run it back. All right, let's see here. Quickly go to the second round. Back-to-back picks by the new guy Alex, getting both Lakers. At first, I was kind of making fun of him a little bit because he did that. Because you're in for a rough ride if you're gonna go with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. But I thought about it and I figured, you're picking number 12 and 13th overall, and you're looking for guys who can score 50 points on any given night, fantasy points, I should say, on any given night in this league. You can't do a lot worse than getting both Anthony Davis and LeBron James, who, when they're running on all cylinders, they are one of the more productive duos in the NBA, and especially for this format of fantasy. So I have to applaud him for that, because I was thinking, like, who else would I have preferred here? What, maybe Domantas Sabonis and Julius Randle or Jimmy Butler?
I was ecstatic.
Well, let's move on to the second round. Pascal Siakam. Well, let's do something different, because we dealt so much with the first round. EJ, why don't you give me your favorite pick of the second round besides LeBron James?
Favorite.
Yeah, and
I mean, I have two picks. I wouldn't even say that one of those two are my favorite. I like Sabonis. Don't know that he's you could argue he's the best out of this round. Probably get a good argument somewhere, but Sabonis, I think Sabonis is probably my favorite pick.
Jacob, who's your favorite pick?
Ooh. I could have went with Sabonis.
Yeah.
I know which one I hated, but honestly, I like the Victor pick, Wembanyama. I like that.
Yeah,
it's bold,
Mhm.
and his all-around game, it might really translate to the league. I mean, that kid, you talk about a unicorn, how we talked about KP, James knows about this. As we talked about with KP, this kid is a unicorn as well. I mean, he might be even better.
I'm not gonna lie, I even thought about it.
I thought about it.
Because I knew that, picking again, when you're picking at the ends and the beginnings here, I knew there was no way he was coming back.
Oh no.
No.
I was like, someone's gonna snatch him earlier than they should. Because even here, I was just like, okay, was someone gonna grab him? In the second round, is it gonna make it even into the third round? I just, I was like, I couldn't pass on Sabonis. I've always liked him as a player. And just consistency wise, he does that. He fills that stat sheet every week. And that him and Fox are the focals there. They work that 2-man game constantly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it. If Wemby would have stuck around in the 8th pick in the second round, I would have probably snatched him up. It was either between him and Karl Anthony Towns, and the decision was made for me. I'm happy with Cat, but it's a very intriguing pick there, going with a rookie in San Antonio. I think, was it you, James? I was talking about how I don't trust Popovich.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, we kind of had this discussion, and I get the whole Pop thing, but you see the lineup he's rolling out right now, and he's clearly the focal point.
No, he is.
And he's talked about it after the last 2 preseason games. They're running the offense through him
for 30 minutes a game.
And he said he's our guy. He's gonna have to play.
I've also seen Popovich play his important players for like 26, 27 minutes a game, and that is deadly for that. That's going to kill your fantasy team if he only plays that little. Pop can come in and
Yeah,
say,
I
"Hey,
mean,
we're
like I said,
rebuilding. We're rebuilding."
when it's like the number one pick in the draft, I don't think Pop's that crazy. I've seen him do it with, I've seen him roll Duncan out there as a rookie. He did it with David Robinson. It's different when you're a rookie and you're the 24th pick in the draft. And, it's different when you're the number one pick in the draft.
And I'll finish up the second round with this. Jaren Jackson Jr. probably the worst pick on this bunch. There, I said it. I mean, you got a bunch of guys who are averaging close to 40 points.
That one shocked me.
And then Triple J.
I thought I thought he'd go in the third round, either more later in the third round. I figured somebody would get him. I thought there was definitely other options.
So really quick, you talk about bold, and I'll just lightning round style. You talk about bold. EJ going with John Morant. Who did you pick in the first round? I forgot. Oh, he picked Joel Embiid. Okay, that's a pretty good center point guard combination. A lot of good picks still here. But then you look at Jaren Jackson Jr. Oh, and then EJ got another point guard, LaMelo Ball. So with his two second round picks,
it was smart.
Ball and Morant.
It was smart.
The two most volatile.
Not playing. So.
Well, he got himself the two most volatile point guards in the league. That's what he got. EJ, defend yourself here. What were you thinking here?
Defend yourself.
Look, when you've got 2 2s and 3 3s, you can make that pick. So it made sense to go after Morant. Hey, I would have taken every pick in the draft. I know who I'm up against. So
Felipe, in case you're wondering why I hate the draft pick trades, EJ is the perfect example.
Well, it's not just him. Bob too. Bob really.
The two of their teams are like ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's why we're only doing it in the offseason now. So, I mean, I know that EJ might need help later.
Hey, next year. As long as I'm grandfathered, I'm good.
All right. Well, aside from Jaren Jackson Jr., I mean, I guess I would have gone with Zion Williamson. I still would have gone with Devin Booker here, although Mike ends up getting Devin Booker too, so it doesn't matter. Maybe I would have preferred Nick Vucevic. I know I had my qualms about him too as well. But, I mean, Triple J is such a gifted player, but for some reason, it doesn't translate to this league, and it drives me crazy, and that's why I don't like that pick. Otherwise, I mean, Anthony Edwards going to Bob's team, that kind of hurt because I was hoping to get him back. Oh, but I don't have a third round pick, so it doesn't matter. Let's start at the top. Zion Williamson. Let's start. I didn't hear from you. Well, hold on. Pinos didn't give me a player that he liked or didn't like in the second round, so I'm going to start with him this time around. Zion Williamson. Is this the year he puts it together?
They certainly hope so, and so does Leon. But I mean, he honestly. I've seen him at this point. He looks like he's in the best shape ever. A lot of the baby fat seems to have been shed. It seems like he got serious.
Okay. Sure.
The biggest question I have with Zion this year, besides health, is will Zion be a Pelican by the end of the year?
Probably not.
There's a lot of voices in that organization who have just basically said they want him to get in shape so they can get him out. Is what I've heard. I know someone who works over there and with a couple of the trainers, and they're just not. They don't like it, and he doesn't want to be there. And he does have a preferred team, which
we all know
Jacob may or may not like, but he does have a preferred landing spot.
What's his preferred landing spot for the people who don't know, like me?
He wants to play with RJ.
Of course.
With who? Oh, the Knicks?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
The Knicks?
He wants to play with his boy.
In New York.
Remember how much this man wanted the Knicks to get that number one pick.
Yeah.
His face, when the Pelicans got the number one pick, told you everything you needed to know.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay? That man did not want to go there.
But I'll tell you this, man. In New Orleans, Zion eats everything in sight. In New York, they're gonna eat him alive. Okay, if he comes with the same attitude, the same work ethic.
I mean, the man has to understand that if he's coming to New York, he's gonna play for Thibs.
Oh,
so I mean, he has to know what situation he's getting himself into.
Yeah. Well,
mentally, he doesn't think that's good. That's not going to change.
Felipe is bringing back memories.
Be careful what you ask for. Is all I'm going to say. Be careful.
Oh, I know. I'm just telling you. He knows what he's asking for.
Does he?
I mean, I mean, if he watches ESPN, he knows that every player on the Knicks plays 48 and a half minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. Let's move back to the draft here. EJ, out of the list you see in front of you, starting with Devin Booker. No, I like the Devin Booker pick. Of the list you see there in the third round. Sorry, tell me a player you didn't like in this round.
I told you guys before I had 3 players in mind. Edwards was one of them, so I really hated that Bob snatched him right after my pick. And then one of the others was Bam. So leave that alone. Honestly, I think a lot of these third round picks are going to end up being better than some of those late second round picks.
Mm-hmm.
I think the choices in this round, I mean, all of these picks look like really good picks. Maybe Kawhi, because you just don't know what to expect from his history, but this might be the year that he gets healthy and gets back on track. So if I had to pick, and Murray for the same reason, just because this is his second year and last year was down. But I mean, man, those are all real solid picks.
All right. Well, I'm going to play a game here with Jacob because I'm not 100% sure about the Scotty Barnes pick. I'm a big Scotty Barnes fan, as you know, but going to EJ in the late in the third round, I have to question it. So Jacob, let me ask you, Scotty Barnes or Jamal Murray in this format?
Jamal Murray.
Scotty Barnes.
I love Scotty Barnes. I love Scotty Barnes. Don't get me wrong, but it kind of worried me with his little step back, no pun intended, of last season. Love you, Leon. I got you. No, but his little decline last year kind of made me kind of nervous, but I wasn't a fan of it because I think DeMar DeRozan even could have went there. Jaylen Brown, that's another one I'm shocked he didn't go
I'm
earlier
very shocked.
because
yeah,
both sides of the floor, great defensively. He'll get you steals.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Scotty Barnes kind of it can pay off big though. That's the one thing. You do have a lot of potential with him, but will he do it in that offense? I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, now that Van Fleet is gone, maybe he'll get more touches. And
exactly.
I mean, the Raptors are just who else is gonna need touches on that team? I don't see anyone else. Am I missing someone on the Raptors team?
Great value Drake, he's still there, right?
Unless
no, he's with Houston.
Percentage increases. That's volume is not going to help that situation.
All right, well, let's go. Let's keep going here.
Go ahead. Let me say this real quick, Felipe. Two things. One, Van Vliet is gone, and they're talking about running more of the offense through Barnes.
Yep.
So he may step back up from last year. But number 2, I don't have a 4th round pick, so I had to snag him if I wanted him.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I get it because I had to snatch a center in the second round, and I didn't have the luxury of waiting until the third round because I don't have a 3rd round pick either. So I get that. But just from a player for player perspective, I think I would have gone with Jamal Murray. Not KP. I do love Scotty Barnes a lot more than I do love KP. DeMar DeRozan, that's kind of safe floor versus high upside guy. I usually take the high upside guy, so I'll give you that one. But it's pretty darn close between Barnes and DeRozan. That's James, our guy there, Jalen Brunson over there.
Oh yeah, why am I not surprised? I was wondering. I was like, who was the damn? I was cursing you out. I really was. I was like, I knew it. It had to be James because he knows. Oh man,
Jacob, here, Jaylen Brown. You said you would pick Jaylen Brown over Scotty Barnes, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, EJ, why didn't you pick Jaylen Brown instead of Scotty Barnes? I know you didn't have a 4th round pick, but you really value Barnes that high.
I don't really like Jaylen Brown's game for fantasy.
Really?
Wow. I like him. I like him as a player. I like him with why he pop out of my head with what's his running mate? Lord, forget me, I'm getting old. Tatum, thanks. Like him with Tatum, and then even with KP, but just I don't know. I think somebody's gonna suffer, and it might be Jaylen Brown.
Look at Ricky's team. So he has he got off to a good start with Tatum, Jimmy Butler, okay, all the small forwards. Then he got Kawhi Leonard, who we all didn't question it, but we did realize that might be not the best picks in compared to the other guys that were picked in the 3rd round.
Not safe.
No. Again, we go back to the injury thing.
And then Kyrie Irving. So it's a hell of a mixed bag that Ricky's going with in his first season with us. So let's see. James, starting with Kyrie Irving all the way down to the 12th spot in the 4th round. Give me a pick you didn't like in this round.
I mean, the last two picks are kind of a tie toss-up. Scoot's an unknown. You know how much he's going to get featured at this point. Yes, Lillard's gone, but you know they've got Simmons, they've got Ayton.
No way, man.
You know they brought in Ayton obviously for a reason.
Yeah, to get rebounds. Fuck out of here, get rebounds.
No,
Man. That's
like
what
I
he's
said,
good for.
we'll see what happens there.
No, Scoot's gonna get all the touches he can
Yeah,
have.
And Drew becomes the third option now.
If he's there, because you know that I think they're trying to move him.
No, I said Drew on Boston.
Oh, okay. I'm about to
Is
say
he the third, he's the third option now?
Nah, Scoot.
I mean, it's Anthony Simons and then a bunch of guys.
Nah, Scoot. They said it's Scoot's team pretty much now. I think he's gonna get a lot of usage.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
have to at this point.
Yeah.
Simons could play the. He could play the 2.
Yeah, you
No,
got just
Simons is the 2, and then you've got again, like I said, Simons, Ayton. So
Grant.
Aiden's not getting touches. He's only getting lobs and rebounds and block shots, and
It's
that's
gonna be
it.
the same thing as the Suns.
And the
But he
Suns
might
and
be a little bit better because he's happy. He'll be
Yeah,
happy.
you
Is he
think
happy?
Portland traded for
For now,
him,
it's happy.
knowing that his main issue was that he wasn't getting the ball, and they made this huge trade, and they're gonna piss him off by not giving him the ball. They didn't talk to him and say, you know,
no, he can get the ball, man.
that's the perspective.
He can get off the rim, off missed shots.
I mean, are we saying that they have to run the offense through him now? Is that what we're talking about?
No, I'm just
That's what
saying he's gonna get a lot more touches.
He should.
I'm not saying he might not be the main guy, but I'm saying he's gonna get a lot more feature because that was his complaint in Phoenix. That he wasn't getting featured. That's why he wanted to leave. That's what, you know, the fact that they signed him to that offer sheet and then, you know, basically gave him the same role again. That's why they had to get rid of him, because after that year, he was going to be more unhappy again this year because now they're bringing in Beal. He's definitely not going to get the ball.
Yeah.
So they knew he wasn't going to just sit around and do his jobs, you know, as they kept saying it. Because he wanted out, they didn't let him out, and then they brought in another guy to shoot.
Yeah, well, now he can be out and he can block shots and get rebounds in Portland because Scoot Henderson's going to get all the touches. He's a starting point guard for this team. There's no veteran presence. Malcolm Brogdon, he's going to get traded soon. It's Scoot Henderson.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I have Victor Wembanyama as my number 1 rookie. Scoot Henderson is my number 2. He's a high flyer, athletic, strong, goes strong at the rim.
See, I agree there. I said that was the discussion. Wemby's 1 and Scoot's 2.
Yeah, and only because, and it's probably more than likely Wembanyama's number 1 easy coming into the season, if even from a fantasy perspective, because of center eligibility. I mean, that's so important. But getting back to the scouting report for Scoot Henderson really quick step, fun playmaker, shoots anywhere, but does he have a 3-point shot? He's going to learn today. We're going to find out. Active defender, questionable selection. He could be sloppy with the ball and has been known to get bullied, but I mean, he's going to get the touches. He's going to get the usage. Anyway, let's move on here. So we talked about, Jacob, you weren't around. We talked about the Warriors with Thompson and Curry and how amazing Kevin Durant was with that team. Yeah, I'm a big Kevin Durant fan. I don't care. But they got rid of Jordan Poole, and we were kind of wondering how much longer does Steph Curry have. We were wondering if Klay Thompson is going to come back and re-sign with the team. And meanwhile, Jordan Poole, they basically shipped him off to Washington.
Perfect place for him.
Perfect place for him. But is this something that the Warriors are going to regret later on?
Oh, yeah.
In the future?
Matter of fact, let me back that up. I would say no, because their core got their ring. So it's all about, you can.
But what about the next generation?
But yeah, what is it now? It's just basically you get to pad your stats now. You know the dynasty is there. You kept Draymond. I mean, why not Klay at this point? I can't see him playing anywhere else. Might as well. You're gonna go out on your damn sword. Go out with your team.
Yeah.
Go out with your big 3.
Out on the shield.
Mm-hmm.
The 5th round in this draft starts out with Kyle Kuzma. We talk about Jordan Poole. Now we're talking about Kyle Kuzma. You still like Kyle Kuzma, even though I guess he was always a second option, right, EJ?
Oh, yeah.
Washington?
Oh, yeah.
He was, I mean, yeah, you got Jordan coming on, but he was the second option last year. And yeah, he was second option last year. He played really well last year. So I figure he's going to get a bump up this year. There's really nobody else. Him and Poole are basically the guys. Everybody else is going to be peripheral. So I didn't have a 4th round pick. I looked for the highest upside guy. I thought Kuzma was it. I'm not down with that haircut at all. That haircut is trash, but he better perform on the court.
I swear to God.
Worst pick of the draft of this round candidate, Miles Turner. It's a homer pick from Mike Harvey. I'm not liking Mike's picks so far. Most
Westbrook.
of them, I keep. What you think Westbrook's going to be bad this year, huh?
I just don't. He could have waited. I think he honestly could have waited for Westbrook. I mean, Giddey. Oh, well, he got Giddey anyway. Never mind. So damn, those picks help.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, I didn't. But yeah, well, Westbrook. I don't know. I just don't.
Bob's got a ton of guards.
Oh yeah.
And then he was trying to trade for one of my guards. So I don't know what his strategy is. I don't know if he
guards
understands how many guards he can start.
I mean, he played last year. Yeah, he played
No,
last
I
year.
know, but I'm just confused by his all the guards.
I think. Well, I know he was big on not wanting to get a lot of injury-prone guys, a lot of guys with like injury history, and maybe he found out that forwards and centers are more prone to injury, and guards are more durable because they don't get to bang in the paint as much. They don't have to go for rebounds. They could finesse more. They could set the tempo, whereas forwards and centers, they constantly have to hustle back and forth between them. That's my guess. I don't know. I mean, if you're saying that he picked a lot of guards, that's my guess. Why? Go ahead, EJ.
Felipe, you know who he reminds me of? Westbrook reminds me of Rich Gannon. And when he falls off the cliff, it's going to be colossal.
I like that.
I agree.
Do not want to be the one holding that back.
Jacob, I've been saying this for like 3 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said the thing with Westbrook is his whole game is his athleticism.
Yep.
He's got no jumper. The minute he slows down a little bit,
that's it.
It's a cliff because he doesn't have that jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was the thing too. Like I said, unless he does the kid thing where he develops that shot, like this year, later in his career, that extended kids run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like got a championship out of it.
It's got to come because his shot's ugly.
It ain't coming.
It's flat. There's no spin. I don't know. It's
quick shout out to Harry Siberian, who I invited him to this league to replace one of the guys who was leaving this upcoming season, and he politely turned it down, saying that he wasn't ready for it. Well, now he's comment. Well, listen to this comment. Harry says, "Now I regret turning down this spot to play this year." Well, that
come on, son.
You're still on the wait list. I'll add you to the wait list if I didn't already. I know I added you. I might have taken you out since you rejected me, but I'll add you again. No worries. Maybe next year you'll get lucky. So the 5th round is. I see a lot of crossroads here. You know, guys like DeAndre Ayton at the crossroads of his career. Is he going to take a big step forward? Or is he going to be complaining some more? Josh Giddey needs a shot. And then we got to Rudy Gobert at the 6th spot with Jacob. And I don't know, man. I know you need a center, but do you need this center?
I had to. That was my Achilles heel last year. Achilles heel last year, if you noticed, the guards were there. Yeah. The big, I had nothing in that front court. I was relying on Bol and Mitchell Robinson. I love Mitchell, but I wasn't getting anything out of him. I had Jericho Sims. I was like, nah, we can't do this again.
The most dangerous words in fantasy drafts. I had to. Those 3 letters, right? Those 3 words are going to kill you. So you're telling me you preferred Rudy Gobert over DeAndre Ayton?
Damn right. Rudy Gobert was still with Cat in that front, and I still don't think it's really it was great, but it still worked. He still put up his numbers. It was good enough.
Well, it worked because Cat was out.
That too.
There you go.
It'll still work.
Numbers wise, we've not seen what they're going to be together.
I think they'll be fine.
Jacob, you lost out on RJ Barrett. I mean, is that something you're willing to live with?
Yeah, I had to. I rather. It's all right.
Had
it's all right.
to. It's all right. Sure, it is.
It's all right. Just give me all I gotta say is RJ, give us 40% from 3, 80% from the free throw line. Give us 20 points a game. Play good defense, and I'll be happy.
There you go.
EJ, did Franz Wagner actually take a massive step forward to be drafted in the 5th round? Because he just seems like he doesn't belong in this group. But what do you think?
Man, he's a baller. They think that dude's second best player on the team behind
Wow.
Banchero. So yeah,
He's good,
I
man.
would
I mean,
love.
I had friends.
I thought about.
I had friends
him
lined
in the
up
spot
too.
where- yeah,
Yep.
where Kuzma.
AJ, you kind of broke up there. What was your last statement there?
Yeah. I said I had him queued when I thought about when I took Kuzma. I was thinking about Wagner. He's a baller.
Yeah.
I thought Kuzma had more upside in his position with his opportunity, but yeah, Wagner's a baller, man. Definitely deserves to be there.
All right, we go to the 6th round. Well, before we get to the 6th round, when I get to the spot after RJ Barrett. Well, maybe include RJ Barrett. Let's see. We got 4 guards here. Well, I guess RJ Barrett's a wing player, a small forward. So let's skip him. We already know that he is. He's an underachiever. There, I said it. Underachiever. He's such an important pick. Why isn't he up there with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? What's up? Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes I gotta ask the tough questions of the Knicks fans are here. They know the answer. They know the answer. That's why I hope he gets Zion. Like, yeah, because RJ's not the answer. Damn. All right, no, seriously. Oh, go ahead. Finish, Jacob. Go ahead.
I mean, RJ, he never was going to be the answer. He was. Listen, he's an all-around guy. He's not a franchise guy. He's a piece.
Well, that's not good.
We all knew it.
Also, Jacob, I if RJ was in a different team, his numbers would be praised for a third-year player.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Okay? Look, if you look at his overall stats again, and you see who's done that in their first 3 years, it's a very, very short list.
Good
His
company.
biggest liability last year was his three-point shooting.
Yeah.
I was like, but he gets buckets, he gets to the line, he distributes, guys miss shots, and they're like, oh, he doesn't get assists. I said, well, if guys are missing wide open shots,
there's nothing you can do about that.
I mean, that's not his fault. I was like, but if you
run back
watch
down
him
the other
play,
court.
I hear that's one of the things I hear constantly is he doesn't distribute. And I'm like, well, watch a game. He drives and he does kick. I was like, the guys miss shots.
That's a complaint about him?
Yeah,
it really is.
You watch ESPN?
I mean, I don't expect that. I don't want him to. If RJ Barrett's on my real NBA team, I don't want him to distribute. I want him to just be aggressive with the rock and score.
He like I said, he's aggressive, but when he's got 3 guys, when guys collapse, he dishes.
I mean, 25
all of Mitch's,
that was
almost
good.
all of Mitch's lobs come from RJ.
Yeah.
They run that little
25 and 5 was good.
Day. I was like, but the outside shooters miss shots.
Yep.
And he doesn't get assists, and they're like, oh, he only had 1 assist. I was like, but that's not in his control.
Yeah. All right. I want to get to this trio of guards, and we'll start with you, EJ. CJ McCollum, Brad Beal, Colin Sexton. Who's gonna be of those 3 gonna have the best season this upcoming year?
I think Beal takes a step back in Phoenix. He's got to. Somebody's got to get the short end of the straw there. McCollum, who was the third guard? McCollum and who else? Oh,
Colin Sexton. Yeah.
McCollum is probably the most consistent out of those 3.
I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I honestly don't know what to make with him with New Orleans. It's still a weird situation as far as I'm concerned. But if Zion gets traded to the Knicks, maybe it's not so big of a problem then, I guess. And then Colin Sexton, what are we doing here with him? I mean, number 1 pick in the 6th round, but I don't know. I don't feel good about that.
That's a weird pick.
I don't know.
I think that's a weird pick.
It's not weird because of the projections, but then you look at the other names that went by. Evan Mobley. I mean, centers, power forwards are very valuable in this league because there's not a lot of them. Desmond Bane, I think I would have preferred him over Sexton. Valanciunas, who could still get you a safe 30 points fantasy point. Nurkic comes with injury concerns, and then you got Cade Cunningham, who you guys know how I feel about Cade Cunningham. So, although I didn't target him in this draft, probably because I didn't have a 3rd round pick. That's going to be a running theme for me. My excuse for everything. I didn't have a 3rd round pick, so.
Even though we're in the 6th round.
Yeah, Domino's, man. Domino's. It's not just a pizzeria. It's not just a pizzeria, all right? No one outdoes them.
It is. You're right. I didn't have a 6th round pick, so I missed all these guys.
Oh, so now you're open to hate on one of these picks. Who do you hate on the most in this 6th round?
I got one.
I got one too.
I think we hear from you.
Dinwiddie doesn't do much for me at all.
Wow.
Cornerstone?
Good thing Leon isn't here.
That almost sounded like, God, he was on my team and I hate him now.
No, I mean, I liked him when he was Mav. I liked him when he was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I mean, not Brooklyn, when he was in Where was he before? Where was
Dallas,
he? Washington?
Oh, he's
Before
Dallas
Dallas.
and Washington and Dallas.
Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. He went to Washington. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I would have picked somebody with more upside. I would take him Simons over Dinwiddie in a heartbeat.
Well, Leon took both, so it doesn't matter. He got the guy. He got both those
Yeah.
guys anyway.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
Simmons, he went homer on that one
you
because Ben
kinda
Simmons
start
wouldn't have been.
start looking upside this part of the draft over, over some guys that are around the same area.
Oh yeah,
Actually, Jones. I jumped on Jones.
Herbert, right?
Tyus Jones.
He's gonna have a big part in that offense.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
I'd have
do,
taken him in
guys.
the
I love
6th
it.
round.
So there's a lot of questionable picks in the 6th round before we move on to the 7th round. A lot of questionable picks, and I kind of praised the first 6 picks, and then you get to OG Anunoby. There, I said it, Jacob. I'm sorry, but OG doesn't do anything for me. I don't know why he's here.
He
Ben
does.
Simmons, Tobias Harris is getting up there on the older side. Jeremy Grant, he doesn't excite me. And then, like you mentioned, Spencer Dinwiddie.
To me, the most upside there is Chet.
Gotta settle down.
Oh, look at that! Oh,
Yeah.
and who got Chet? This guy right here, getting all the
Yeah,
young centers.
he was gonna be my next pick, so I couldn't really. I was
Yeah.
like, oh man,
Yeah,
I was like,
he
he's
was-
right there. Come on, don't do it.
You had a
Chet,
chance. He was right there, man. You could have taken him from me, but you didn't.
Yeah.
And then I would have been stuck with Ben Simmons or something. I don't know. That would have been really bad for me.
Yeah, okay.
Or I don't know. Who would I guess Anthony
never
Simons
trust
would have been the pick there for me. I'm sorry.
Simons
Go ahead.
would have been a good pick.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, I got the big man that I wanted anyway, so I got the guy I wanted. Felipe always gets his man, despite not having a 3rd round pick. 7th round. We talked about Simons. Okay, so somebody answered me this. I feel like the Indiana Pacers have 2 of every player at every position, including this guy Benedict Mathurin. And I'm trying to remember who the other guys. Oh, you got your daughter there. Hi. Hello.
Say hi.
Hi.
All right, night, go to bed.
Good evening. Aw, her hair reminds me almost like my daughter's hair. That's so cute. But I was saying, they got Benedict Mathurin, they got Bruce Brown, they got Buddy Hield, they got I'm missing Andrew Nemhard. I have Aaron Nesmith also got some consideration in this league as well.
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Well, Hield's on the block from everything you're hearing.
Yeah.
So is this, it's a homer pick by Mike, but is this the right homer pick by Mike is what I'm asking. Let's start with James over there. What do you think about Benedict Mathurin? As you can see, probably the lowest amount of projected points there
Upside wise,
in this
I
round.
love Matherin's game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you watch him play, he's a baller, he's a bucket, physically imposing at his size. He was in my queue for this round. I was hoping he would get down there. Depending on what other people's needs were, because at this point, people are trying to fill certain spots.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of hoping he'd sneak through because it seemed like a lot of people were missing bigs at this point.
Not me.
And I already had bigs, so I'm like, hopefully he'll kind of shimmy his way on down. But no, he went there. To me, the first part of this round, there was, let's see, Mathurin, Tyus, Kessler, Sengun. Those guys were all in my queue.
Good.
Jabari Smith, Maxey.
So I was sitting on the screen cursing.
I didn't have a 7, so I was just watching the queue.
I look just like Samuel Jackson, bro.
Well,
I was
okay.
like Samuel Jackson.
I didn't realize that EJ didn't have a 7th round pick either. So EJ, what was the draft pick you did not like in this round?
Didn't like in this. I didn't like any of the picks that you guys made. I was cursing you. No, didn't like. Didn't like.
It's Austin
Didn't
Reeves.
like.
You want to say Austin Reeves, don't you?
I want to say Austin Reeves, but I mean that's not a bad pick. I don't know about Rozier.
That's
He doesn't have a lot of
was-
upside. Yeah. Clay.
It was the surprise to me.
Yeah, I think Rozier. He just doesn't have a lot of upside in that offense. Not with everybody that they have.
Yeah, and then now Brandon Miller. Is that Brandon Miller?
I like that kid.
Yeah, same.
Don't get me. We'll talk about him later, but don't get me started because this draft was very painful. You guys ever see Interstellar and Matthew McConaughey? That was me without the 9th and 10th round pick. Like no, jerks. Jacob, who was your favorite pick of the 7th round besides
My favorite pick?
Besides Alperen Sengun? I'll give you an out because I know
Yeah,
that's
you
your
know,
favorite.
see, you know me. You know me, I'm a
Not-
Sengun guy. Honestly, because I saw him play live, and I've seen a lot of them. Walker Kessler.
Yeah,
Good Lord, that he can freaking play.
yeah.
I just, he's impressive all around, man.
Yeah, Bob made the
Yeah.
pick for me. He picked Kessler, so all right, I'll just get Sengun then. That makes my life easy. So you can't go. I don't think you can go wrong with those two guys.
Nah, not at all.
All right, let's move on to the 8th round. And then we get this one hurt. Jaden Ivey going to
This
Alex.
was a lot of talent in this round.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
was.
And then you get to Mitchell Robinson. Oh well.
Oh shit.
They all can't be winners. No, I'm joking. Jaden Ivey, Tyler Hero, Mitchell Robinson in the first 3 picks. Then you got Keldon Johnson. Pinos, I know you and I don't agree with Popovich's system and how it affects fantasy basketball. You believe in Keldon Johnson to be successful this year, even though Wemby's on that team now?
I don't think Wemby is going to be so much of a negative force because again, he'll distribute.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Keldon's gonna get some wide open looks this year. Might his points per game go down a little bit? Maybe. I don't think significantly though.
EJ Bob.
I think at this point in the 8th round, he's a great pick
Mhm.
because he
All
can
right.
shoot.
Yeah.
You know, and now he's gonna get higher percentage shots.
Yep.
When you can work off a big that's willing to pass.
No, it should work. It should work in theory. I just don't trust Popovich and the Spurs. EJ, question for you really quick. The Magic have like
Sure.
20 guards and they all play the same position. Is this the year that we finally see Markelle Fultz go down and out and force himself out of Orlando just because there's just too many guards? They got Jalen Suggs, they got Cole Anthony, who's now relegated to a deep bench. They actually drafted Anthony Black, who basically plays the same role. Markelle Fultz, you hired low on him this year.
I actually like Fultz,
Mhm.
and they like Fultz more than I do. So, Fultz is their guy. The
Okay.
other guys you mentioned are peripheral guys. They drafted Black because of his defensive prowess. He may catch up eventually from an offensive standpoint, but his offense has a ways to go right now. So Black is not going to be taking over Fultz. They like Fultz. Fultz has been healthy. He was coming on last year pretty well. I think he comes on again this year.
So, question with Fultz: is he the actual point guard or is Wagner the point guard? Because I've watched a lot of Orlando games.
Yeah, that's a good question.
And to me,
That's a good
Wagner's the
question.
point guard.
Really?
The point
If
forward.
if you watch them run,
Mhm.
Wagner's the point guard. They
Hmm.
run, they especially towards the end of the year last year when they were getting into that rhythm, Wagner was the guy that was running, and that's why I was really high on him and was very upset that I lost out on him. Because
Yeah,
I
I don't
watched a
know.
lot of Orlando, and they like him
I
in
don't
that
know
like
in-
point forward role.
Yeah, I don't know in this day and age NBA that you really have I'm a number 1 and he's a number 2.
Yeah,
I think you have ball handlers and you have rebounders and you have
playmakers.
people that do things. So yeah, I think is he the point guard? I mean, maybe not, but he's still going to get his minutes and he's still going to have the ball in his hand at times.
Because to me, it lowers his stock on the fact that he's not the one distributing, and Wagner and Banchero are more the focal points on distributing.
Yeah, that's a good point. But like EJ said, I mean, everything's traditional positions are just going by the wayside. I mean, center.
But that's the whole point of it. Is that
Yeah.
he's not going to have as much opportunity from the way I see the offense being run.
Yeah, I see your point. That's that's why I asked. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, EJ. You were saying something.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, he did pretty well. I'm curious to see what they do this year, but he's found his niche and they seem to like him as the top guy. So
Because if he doesn't have the ball in his hands,
the other guys he mentioned, Anthony Suggs, say it again, please.
he can't shoot. Fultz, right? I mean, he still has really low field goal percentages, and is his 3-point percentage up again? You could tell I don't play a lot of a category leagues because I
He's
don't know.
great at the rim.
Yeah.
Okay.
He finishes
So,
great when he penetrates, but you need the ball for that.
yeah. So
That's my main question there.
So getting back to the argument about how the NBA is not positionless, you have one guy that is an actual distributor in Franz Wagner, and then Markelle Fultz is the dribble penetrator, and they're gonna make it work that way, I guess. Jacob, last thing on the 8th round. Why is Amen Thompson the best pick in this round? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Jacob, who did you pick? Shaden Sharp. Bro, you caught me off guard with my pants down on that one. Tell me something
Man,
about
I wanted to throw punch you behind that one. Man,
really over Shaden Sharp.
I had him. I'm like, nobody but Jacob.
Nah, Shaden is listen.
Don't take him, Jacob.
Say a few.
I had it. I was like, if he gets down to this, I was waiting. I was like, okay. Oh, he's still there. That's it.
So why Shaden Sharp? Tell us something that like guys like me. I had no idea who this guy is. I must have.
He's a bucket. He is a walking bucket.
Yeah.
And he can shoot the ball really well. He came on last year. He's a great player. I mean, especially with losing Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
You got him and you got Scoot. They both can fill it up. And that's what I wanted, especially in this part of the draft.
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna get
That's an
high upside
interesting young lineup.
Oh, absolutely.
And you notice that Jacob said Scoot and not Simons. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I like Simons, but Scoot's gonna get a listen. When you get rid of Dame and you put somebody right in that spot, you expecting some kind of production from him, and they're gonna have to give him the ball and let him go. So that's if you've seen Summer League, that's how they're gonna run it. Scoot's gonna have the ball and have fun. Ain't like they're trying to win.
Go ahead, EJ. You're saying?
Felipe, I don't know if you've looked at it, but yeah, go look at some of Sharp. I know it's preseason. Go look at some of his preseason stat lines.
Okay.
I mean, he's been balling out.
I'll take a look. Like I said, I must have. You talk about sleepers and deep sleepers. I must have like zoned out in Portland games last year. So
I just want to know if Jacob hacked me this year because we seem to be on the same page on certain dudes, and I feel like maybe I've had some sort of internet security issue. Every time you were making the pick, I'm like, God damn it, Jacob! What the?
I think I threw my phone on that one. I was like, oh. Out of a gun, boy.
Oh, man.
Well, the most important thing is that I got Amen Thompson, okay?
I like that pick, Felipe. I love that pick.
Who's strike force?
EJ, he's right here. EJ's right here.
Oh, that's you? The Jalen Durant pick hit me right here, bro.
Oh, man, he's
The
good.
Jalen Durant pick right here, bro. Right here, you hit me.
And for those who don't
I like the Thompson pick, though.
Thank
that was
you.
Good.
I love it too. For those who don't know, freak athlete, fast, quick burst. He's like a rocket, a big playmaker, like a quarterback, great transitional player. Amen Thompson. I'm just reading the scouting report that I got.
Oh, you said amen. I thought you were praying.
But Tim Tebow? No. He's a long defender. He's great at the help defense. But, he has no shot. But that's the way I like my point guards, like Jason Kidd, no shot. And he does struggle to create his own shot. So, no, I got him because he's going to distribute the ball to Jalen Green. And
is he a point guard now?
If he's going to be a playmaker, remember we're in a positionless NBA now. He's the primary playmaker on this team.
I don't know what. Like I said, I don't know what because they brought in Freddie.
Yeah, so Fred VanVleet is going to have to be the traditional point guard, but when Amen Thompson's on the court,
and the veteran presence, he'll be the calm of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the Rockets need that because after dealing with KPJ and Jalen Green trying to,
you got him and Jalen, and and they also signed the GOAT.
Who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT?
You know who the GOAT is?
I don't know, man. You tell me.
He's the greatest boxer of all time in the NBA.
Yeah.
Who? Kermit Washington? What? I'm asking.
He's the villain.
Well, you talk about greatest boxer. Aren't the Rockets?
He's the villain, bro.
Aren't the Rockets owned by the Fertittas? So shouldn't it be the greatest UFC fighter of all time?
Well, he did go for the nut shot this week. So.
Dylan.
Preseason, bro.
Plus, he got thrown out of a damn preseason game.
In the immortal words of Allen Iverson, it's practice. Are you nut punching somebody?
You guys are talking about Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks.
The worst player of his draft class.
Just to be here, again, when we're talking team building, loved Fred VanVleet signing for Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You bring in a veteran point guard with all the young guys.
Yeah.
Perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why would you bring that into that young locker room?
Because they tried it the other way and it didn't work with all these young guys.
No. Fred VanVleet, yes. Dylan Brooks,
Jeff Green.
Your young forwards who you want to play a certain way, and you bring in someone who's gonna be like, you know what, just kick him. Well,
here's what I envision there, James. Dylan Brooks is going to play 20 4 minutes a game, and then it's going to be Amen Thompson time, and he's going to be the point forward. There, problem solved.
You hope.
Oh, I know so. 6'6",
But
214
you know,
pounds.
money talks and bullshit.
All right, hold on now. Let's get out of this 8th round. I just want to point out that I really love the Denver back-to-back picks with Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon. I was getting a lot of those guys in mock drafts, and of course, I didn't get them in this draft. So shout out to Leon and Mike, who I finally like a pick. I keep calling him George because he changed his name to George Mike in Spectacles.
Yeah, you know, I was confused during the draft. I thought Mike and Milliken. I don't know what the hell was going on there.
You got Mike and Milliken. Oh, they're both Pacer fans. They're both Pacers
that
fans.
made it even worse, you know.
Even worse. Reggie Miller's.
Someone made a comment about the Pacer homer, and I'm like, wait, which one are we talking about? I'm confused. What was going on?
He says he can jump out of the gym. Leon said, "Who's he talking about?" Dylan Brooks? No, Amen Thompson. Who's he talking about?
I thought he was talking about Sharp.
Oh, okay, that makes
Sharp,
sense. Yeah, okay. I Portland, you know, I don't stay up that late enough to watch Portland games, apparently. Shout out to Corey Richmond. Have a great show, gentlemen. Corey, the big wrestling fan. Appreciate you stopping by to say hello. Then we get to the transition between 8th and 9th round with Draymond Green, Chris Middleton. You guys, Jacob, let's start with you. Did you thought it was weird that Draymond Green and Chris Middleton were still available in this late in the draft?
Chris Middleton, yes, but I understand because his injuries have been piling up.
Right.
So it's hard to really take that jump. He's just like, should I? He's productive when he's on the floor, but lately it's just the bad luck injuries. Draymond, he's about where he should be because it's Draymond. I mean, how much is he really going to give you? We know he can play defensively, hit you a few threes, but this is pretty fair where he went. I mean, I
just highlighted 3 names like Draymond Green, Chris Middleton, and Mike Conley. Who was the best pick of that trio there?
Chris Middleton.
Really?
Middleton.
Yeah, Chris Middleton.
Really?
I mean, okay. Yeah. If you're talking about him being healthy, he's clearly the best pick.
Even though he's the third option.
My favorite pick of this one, right quick though.
The 9th round.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Keegan Murray.
Michael Keegan Murray. Yeah.
I had to get you, man. I had to.
He did. I had the vision was there. I was like, oh yeah, here go another one.
Yeah, listen, I'm going high level internet security next year. Let me tell you. I'm getting a VPN. I don't know, you know.
I had Keegan Murray last year. He's a nice
EJ, I might have said several variations of your name throughout the draft as well. There might have been some Spanish in there, you know.
Coño!
That's all right. That's all right. I can live with that.
Can I say the worst pick was probably let's go with Marcus Smart. What do we do here? Well, you know what? I'll give Ricky some credit. John Morant's not going to be around for the first 20 games. I thought. How many?
25.
25.
Okay, so that's Marcus Smart time, right?
Listen, 25 pending him staying off TikTok while he's suspended.
Oh well, it might be 50 at this point. So you know what? Maybe that wasn't the worst pick. The worst pick of this round, John Collins. John Collins, what are we doing here? What's your motivation? Why are you here? Am I really that critical of John Collins, EJ, or is that justified? What do you think?
Worst pick in this round?
Yeah, well, it can't be Marcus Smart because he's going to have 25 games where he's going to play a poor man's version of John Morant. But why am I so down on John Collins? Let's start with EJ really quick. EJ, why am I so down on John Collins? Am I seeing this wrong?
He underwhelmed in Atlanta. They shipped him out, and he's got a lot of competition for production in Utah.
So James, you sound like I'm being way too critical of John Collins. Is
I mean, opportunity-wise, I don't know if he's got a great situation yet again. I mean, in Atlanta, his main issue was that he wanted the ball, and you know Trey's got to take 45 shots a game as the point guard, so he was unhappy with that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if he's gonna have great opportunity. I mean, last year they kind of ran marketing at small forward a lot.
Yep.
Sure did. You know, they fit that way and they mix and match defensively. If that's what they're planning on doing with Kessler, that's a big front line. But I didn't think it was a bad pick at this point in the draft. You know, he can shoot, he can rebound. I mean, you know, we're in the point of the draft where you're looking at kind of some upside. You know, does somebody get hurt? He gets more minutes.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a pan out pick. He's probably not. He's obviously at this point. He's not starting for you. He's a piece that could turn into something depending on what happens. You know, depending on if Ainge decides to trade a piece, because you know he's they're still kind of retooling there.
Yeah.
I thought Jalen Williams was kind of a.
I was about to ask.
Isn't this wrong?
I was about to ask, who's the better Jalen Williams or Jalen Green? They went back to back in this round, in the 9th round.
I like Green, brother.
Better
Yeah,
player
I'm taking
or
Green.
better
Williams is
opportunity?
good, but I'm taking Green.
Let's see. EJ brings up a good point. Let's say for this league, who do you think is a better Jalen, EJ?
Green.
Oh, okay. See, and it hurts not having a 9th round pick because he was someone I was targeting, and if I would have had the 9th round pick, I would have gotten my guy. And then Clint Capella goes to James's team. So James, there's a lot of hesitation about Clint Capella. You seem to be content getting him in the 9th round. What is the issue with Clint Capella, and is it just a matter of him needing to get traded so he can be left alone?
He's a double. He blocks shots.
Yeah, I don't see what the issue is.
To me, at this point, he's good depth at center.
Yeah.
And at worst, honestly, I think he's probably going to get traded at some point.
Yeah, why doesn't Atlanta like him?
I don't know.
Because they got the guy behind them.
Yeah, Okongwu,
The
right?
guy behind him that's cheaper. Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I
like
figured.
Okongwu. To me, he's good. Is he Capella yet? Who knows?
It might be
For the money,
cheaper. Yeah.
for the money, it doesn't have to be
much
Capella.
cheaper. Like I said, they
Let's be
might lose
close.
him at this point because I think his deal is coming up.
Well, it's a shame because I see Capella the same way you see Capella, but the fact that his own team doesn't like him, that's kind of concerning.
Again, Atlanta's in a weird spot because of Young.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody likes anybody.
Nobody likes anybody.
That whole team is just a cluster.
Yeah, he's in a weird spot. Atlanta's in like a weird. What do I do here?
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, and again, to me, if I'm building the team, I'm trading Young for an actual shooting guard that can defend.
Yeah.
Now you put him, with God, why is his name left my mind right now? The actual point guard on the team.
Murray.
DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte. If you get him an actual shooter next to him that can defend, that's a magnificent defensive backcourt.
And really quick, noticing that D'Angelo Russell and Andrew Wiggins went back to back. They deserve each other there. Alex goes into the 10th round and gets Bobby Portis. I know it's a 10th round, but is that? I don't think Bobby Portis is better than Wendell Carter Jr. to be
Ain't no way.
Right?
Ain't no way.
It could be that he's new, but maybe I'm too critical, Jacob. There, I mean,
again, upside, no.
Bobby Portis upside?
No.
Portis is what
I'm
he is.
saying you pick for upside at this point.
Yeah,
Bobby Portis.
Carter Jr. made more sense.
I try and pick for upside at this point.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's what I'm. But maybe he needed a center. I don't know. I mean, you got Anthony Davis there. You should have had another center.
Well,
already
he
selected.
needed a pair of healthy knees on his team.
I mean, Wendell Carter's right there, but he goes with Bobby Portis, and he's a second unit guy. And don't get me wrong, I like Portis.
Wendell Carter would have been a much better pick, clearly.
Yeah. Well, Aaron took advantage of that, so she took Wendell Carter, and then you still got Denny Avdija, was probably a better pick if you're going for upside. That's probably a better pick than Bobby Portis. Aswar Thompson, who I don't know what the hell they're gonna do in Detroit.
Brother of.
Amen Thompson, twin brothers to be exact. Should I scouting? You guys want to read the scouting report? Oh, I'm not gonna read the scouting report because it's getting late. But the comp that they used for him through I guess from the Ringer, it was the Ringer, was Sean Livingston. You guys agree with that? Aswar Thompson being the next Sean Livingston.
That's fair. I
mean, right?
I think he could be better.
Yeah, but
that's not bad. I mean, if he's Sean Livingston with a pair of good knees, I would.
This guy.
I think so.
EJ, Bobby Portis or Christian Wood?
Anybody but Christian Wood. That dude is a knucklehead. I mean, he had a perfect opportunity in Dallas. We had no center. I mean, he was trying to battle Dwight Powell for minutes, and he couldn't get on the court. I mean, and if you watch the guy play, I'm not even going to take up time talking about it, but if you watched him play, it was laughable. I mean, it was comic how bad he was on the court. Like, I loved Christian Wood. I loved the signing. And then watching him play was it was disgusting.
Maybe
ridiculous.
Maybe LeBron James will set him straight or something.
Was it just a bad fit somehow? Because I couldn't figure out what was going on with Wood last year.
No, Jason Kidd, they wanted him to play. Again, Luka doesn't play great defense. They wanted Christian Wood to.
That's where the voice is going.
We wanted. They wanted Christian Wood to just be passable, to be decent. There were times where he would stand there looking around. You remember that clip they showed of the Giants lineman looking around when they had the ball? That was Christian Wood. I kid you not. It was utterly ridiculous. They would yank him off the court. I mean, he would put up, 15, 20 points, and they yank off the court because he's standing there looking at people and then run. Oh, it was horrible.
Let me tell you, before last season, there was a contingent of crazy ass Knicks fans that wanted to trade Julius Randle to pick up Christian Wood.
Yeah, it was.
And I am not the Julius Randle cheerleader at all. Jacob knows this. But Christian Wood, I like him, but
not Julius Randle. Good, no.
He's not Julius Randle.
Anybody besides Christian Wood. Anybody.
So you would have picked Bobby Portis then, is what I'm hearing, EJ?
Oh, once any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Really? Right. So there you go. Alex gets the endorsement there. Better than Christian Wood, so it's justified.
I mean, if you're comparing to Christian Wood, I mean, that's not much of an endorsement. But yeah, that's what we got to do.
All right, James, let me ask you here, because we got both our guys with back-to-back picks here, and Cameron Johnson, Josh Hart. Who won? Who's going to be the better player coming into the season? Cam Johnson or Josh Hart?
For fantasy, it's probably Cameron.
Yeah.
Because Josh is just, Josh is a great player. He's just not a scorer.
I'm sorry.
He does everything else you need.
Yeah.
Like if in a categories league, I would certainly take Josh as somebody that I could plug in on nights on a daily league. Because you can plug him in on a night when someone's out. Yeah. And he's going to give you 8 rebounds. He's going to give you 5, 6 assists out of nowhere, and he might knock down some threes. Yeah. But we're not in a category league.
No.
So,
and I'm sorry.
A little limited.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. I'm sorry, it's not EJ. Primo got Cameron Johnson and Jacob got Josh Hart. Josh Hart going with the homer pick and Primo. I agree. I prefer Cam over Josh Hart, but it's pretty close.
He's on my bench.
He's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. Dennis Schroeder, is he still relevant, Jacob? I know that
he is. It's
okay.
Schroeder time. Yes,
I know he had a great showing up in the World Cup or what. I don't know what the hell they were playing this year. Some meaningless tournament. I don't know. But
those international games don't mean a thing in any sport. Felipe.
What?
Not a damn thing.
What the hell are you talking about? Well,
WBC was fun, man.
WBC is awesome. Yeah,
that's great.
Let's see here.
I didn't know that the Marlins Stadium could actually hold that many people.
Oh yeah, you'd be surprised.
It was wild.
Usually, I can usually walk in to a game like 5 minutes before. It's an empty parking lot. I park right in front, next to the players. I walk out through the locker room. Nobody says nothing. It's weird.
All right, since Jacob's not involved in this one. Primo's involved in this back-to-back two guys who play shooting guard, small forward. Who got the better pick here? Devin Vassell with EJ or Buddy Hield with Primo? I guess Jacob. I'm asking Jacob.
Me? Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you said
won?
James.
No, I said EJ wasn't involved, so I pick you, Jacob, to tell me who was your favorite pick, Devin Vassell or Buddy Hield?
As much as I like Buddy Hield, I think Devin Vassell has the better upside.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with him getting that deal too, they're going to be feeding him the dude, 3-and-D kind of player. So you can't go wrong with him. And he's just improved every year he's been in the league. And I like that pick. I love it.
Mike and Leon go back to back, right? So it's a Leon sandwich, and Mike Harvey's the bread. But yeah, this one hurt a lot. Brandon Miller going in the 10th round, and that I would have picked him in the 10th round if I had to pick. I would have had him. So that's gonna haunt me for the rest of the year. And then Leon mysteriously, questionably, this is typical Leon stuff here. But Chris Paul and Kevin Looney, EJ, what do you think of those back-to-back picks there? But getting both Warriors players, even though it's this late in the draft, I find that murky. But maybe you have a different opinion. I don't know.
No, I mean the only thing I can say is maybe they're mid to high floor picks. They don't have a lot of upside, but maybe high floor or decent floor picks.
Yeah,
I don't know. I got much. I got nothing.
Okay, I thought Leon's good at that. He's gonna get. Oh, nobody's gonna get Chris Paul, who it wasn't that too long ago that he was very productive and an all-star. All right, then I'll take him. He's really good at that. So I'm very.
No, I just
If it was anybody else, I would be
Again,
mocking it. I would be mocking it. For sure.
it's like it's draft the name you know.
I think with Leon, it's a little bit more than just that. I think he's proven he has a track record that this is basically typical.
Him and Steph is a weird backcourt combination.
Chris Paul, Chris Paul's not. There's no way he's starting, right?
No, I know, but I'm saying if he's gonna get minutes, it's only when Steph's off the court.
Yeah, and
the two of them together on the court doesn't work.
No, I see him running the second unit. That's the only way it's going to work with Chris Paul, second unit.
And then that's where you go, where it's not a high upside pick at all.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's a high upside pick in the fact that he's going to take advantage of a bunch of second and third string guys, right? But he's getting close to 40 if he isn't there already. We saw him get extremely exhausted in those deep Phoenix Suns runs of the last couple of years, where his presence actually cost the team, probably. That's my argument. But anyway, the second Mike Harvey pick was Kevin Huerter, and that one hurt a lot too, because I was getting ready to. Okay, well, he picked Brandon Miller, but I'm one pick away. I'm gonna get Kevin Huerter. I'm gonna run it back with him, and he picks him. So I ended up with Mark Williams. Hopefully, that's a nice consolation prize. And then Daniel Gafford going to EJ's team. So back-to-back centers. Let's ask Jacob again, because both of us are involved. Mark Williams or Daniel Gafford coming to the season?
I'm going to be a biased Duke fan. I'm going Mark Williams.
Right you are. Goddamn right you are. That's right. Felipe wins again.
Felipe, it's funny you said that, because here I am sitting there with your pick thinking I'm one pick away from Mark Williams, and lo and behold, Felipe snags him. So I'm like, you son of
Hey man, don't blame me. Blame Mike Harvey for taking both my wing players, all right?
Exactly.
It's Mike Harvey's fault.
So Gafford was my consolation. He's starting. He was my consolation prize. I wanted a center on the bench that was
I like Gafford's upside this year.
Yeah, me too.
He's a guy who's never gotten the minutes, and it looks like he's going to get those minutes finally. And he's a beast on the boards.
Oh yeah, he is.
Shots.
Yeah, I like him.
I'm not the shots going up from that backcourt.
Jacob, tell me that my Kelly Oubre Jr. pick is a good one. Please tell me it's a good pick, because
you know why it's perfect? You have no clue what the hell is going on with James Harden, and you need somebody to take those motherfucking shots. So Felipe, I salute you on that one, because it was perfect timing for you to get him.
Yeah.
Kelly Oubre, listen, Philly, they shoot a lot of threes. Maxey, now Oubre, Embiid even shoots them. Harden not going to take them. They're trying to get rid of them. So it just goes back. It was perfect. It was a
when
perfect
Harden
pick.
gets moved.
Yeah.
This could be kind of a steal pick late in the draft, value-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? I'm just glad he's on my damn team. It cost me a lot.
Well, that's a good question. We asked me and EJ. Now let's do me and Jacob, but we'll do James as the unbiased here. Kelly Oubre or Emmanuel Quick? Well, you know what? No, that's a bet. No, I'm not gonna ask James, because I know who's gonna. Never mind. EJ, who got the better pick here between me and Jacob? Kelly Oubre or Emmanuel Quickly?
Gosh, I think those were a toss-up. I think they probably both have opportunity.
Pick one. Pick one. Gun to your head right now.
The sixth man of the year.
I would pick Oubre only because he's on top and he's the first one I'm looking at. Literally.
Goddamn right.
I would flip a coin. I would flip a coin between either. I think they're both good picks.
All right, I feel
when IQ gets traded and ends up being a starting point guard on a different team, you're gonna be crying.
Yeah, that you definitely have that potential. So
me and Jacob was talking about IQ getting moved the other day.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be too happy. Like I told you the other day, I'm not gonna be happy.
How remind me, how tall is IQ again? He's like
6'2", but he's got He's got like a 6'8" wingspan.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing with him. That's why he's so good on defense.
He was in my
his
queue.
arms.
Yeah, the Ben Gordon thing. I get it. No,
Yeah.
Tibbs loves those 6'2", 6'1", 6-foot
You know,
point guards.
he uses his wingspan, unlike some other guys, and that's why he gets so many tip balls and steals. That's
Yeah.
what makes him effective. He can test shots well, you know.
Is he actually starting this year? No, right?
No.
Quickly?
No,
No,
he's
no.
not starting. No, he would have drafted a long time
As I
ago.
said, I told Jack, I feel he's going to
Bronson?
get traded.
That's right. Thank you.
He's up for an extension.
Yep.
They have McBride, whose shooting has finally come around towards the end of last year, and he's been shooting the lights out in the preseason. Yet again, he's continued it.
All right.
DiVincenzo, who can play the 1 or the 2.
All right, this ain't Knicks talk hour. All right, enough about
You
that.
know.
That's way too much Knicks. All right.
Listen, I'm giving you your analysis, and this is why I think, you know, he's gonna get. I think he gets moved, and he ends up starting somewhere.
All right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I like him even though he's a Knicks player. I do like him. And I know that Tibbs likes those kind of point guards, those little guards that can run around and create havoc from the like the Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf that torched the Bulls in '96, right, with Jordan and Pippen. Quickly is kind of in that mold and with Tibbs under the helm. So, but you know, you can only play so many players. Brunson's still on the team.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett's on the team. So I get it. I understand that. Interested that I'm very surprised that they would even consider trading him, but we'll see how that goes. I mean, it seems like he's
You know, it goes
Tibbs
back
player.
to again when they signed Brunson.
Mhm.
It kind of made several decisions for them in my mind.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. That's a shame.
You know, because now you know the fit to me, Grimes and RJ are better fits.
Yeah, I
If
see.
they hadn't signed Brunson and quickly was your starting point guard, then to me you're more able to move either Grimes or RJ.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know, it's all about the fit. You know, and you have to be smart about it. And you know, people keep saying, you know, move RJ, and I'm like, RJ gives you, even if at worst he's your third best player, he gives you 20 and 6 and 6. And how many guys are willing to do that
Mhm.
and not complain? Because RJ does his job and takes a lot of crap.
Mhm.
And you know, a
Yeah.
lot of guys in that spot would be like, well, you know, I need the ball.
Yep.
And they'd be crying in the media and all that, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to talk about Angels' pick here of Harrison Barnes. Is there anything left on that tank? Does he still matter? Anybody can answer that.
I mean,
Jacob, go ahead.
he will. He'll put up his numbers. I mean, he's a glue guy. That's
Yeah.
the best I can explain it. He's a glue guy. You know, he's a professional. He'll get his point, like his 12 to 13. He'll have his 30-point game here and there. I mean, you really can't go wrong with him at this point.
Isn't he in the last year of his deal?
I would think so. It seemed like he's been in it forever.
Yeah, it
so
seems like that.
he's another guy that I would have taken a risk on here because I think he gets moved and may end up in a better, you know, a place where he gets more opportunity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's a vet 3-and-D wing. He knows his role. He can shoot.
He's listed as a power forward, as a starting power forward. So that's a good sign.
Even better.
Uh,
Sacramento?
That's what I'm seeing.
He's not starting at Sacramento. Murray's starting at.
So
bonus and what's his name?
I got this website that I kind of been digging for lately. I don't know if they update it on a daily, but it's the one I like because it's a good
I know
presentation.
he started in the preseason a couple of games because they rested guys on and off, kind of like a lot of teams did.
Well, here's
Murray's your starting power forward though.
Well, here's how they have it. They have Fox at the point guard, Herter at the starting shooting guard. Oh, that seeing him starting this is hurting me. Keegan Murray as the starting small forward, Harrison Barnes starting power forward. At this point, you probably interchange those two. And then Sabonis is at center. And then Alex Len is the backup center. Trey Lyles and Chris Duarte are the backup forwards. Malik Monk, Davian Mitchell are the backup guards. So yeah, Harrison Barnes might need to start by default.
I was wondering how much run Duarte was going to get there. They traded for him.
Yeah,
and he's like basically a younger version of Barnes in a way.
Mm.
You know, and again, that goes to me again thinking that Barnes probably gets moved.
And just want to shout out. We talked
Monk
about
did great for them. No, off the bench last year, wasn't he? Pretty good
Monk.
value. He was doing well for them off the bench, I thought.
I believe so.
Sounds right. Malik Monk, I will see his name pop up in just a bit. I know he got drafted in this one. So I just want to point out that we talked about Clint Capella earlier. Well, there's the Clint Capella paradox is that you also got Onyeka Okongwu. I like the kid. I think he's gonna, if he gets the opportunity, we're gonna see him really shine in this league. So I'm looking forward to that. Jarris, go ahead.
He did a lot of good work when Capella was out last year.
Yeah.
He really needs to work on his positioning down low. He was dumb fouls. Honestly, reminded me a lot of Mitchell the first year or so, where he just could not stay on the ground.
Mhm.
You know, he would go for every head fake and get himself.
Most young bigs are like that, though.
Huh?
But
Yeah,
most
no,
young
like I
bigs are
said,
like that.
and that comes with it. Bigs traditionally the first couple of years, you're so wanting to block that shot. To me, a lot of these guys, and
Yes.
they just jump. It's like,
Yeah.
stop! You're tall.
Mhm.
Jarris Walker also going here. I don't know what to make of it. He was my 22nd ranked rookie coming into this one. 6'7", 249 pounders. So he's built like a rock, and he's NBA ready in terms of his body.
Solid.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I was singing the song.
The comps, Larry Johnson and Carl Landry. I think he's at this
Wow.
point he's closer to Carl Landry than he is to Larry Johnson.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, don't.
Well, this was
Like
weird.
Grandma.
He's a weird player to me because you drafted him with a very high draft pick, right? And
Jarris
then
Walker.
They traded for Toppin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's just weird. I was like,
Well,
why
we're
do you
gonna be in
spend
that
the high
position again.
capital and then trade for another dude at the same spot?
Yeah.
He's also a young guy, because if you brought in a vet to kind of show him and bang with, that made sense. But to bring in someone else that's basically comp
Yeah.
Mhm.
for a high draft pick, that's not showing loads of confidence.
Well, for those who don't know, Jarris Walker was drafted in the first round, 8th pick overall out of Houston. And yeah, sturdy frame, active defenders. He's good at the small ball center position, good rebounder, can finish with power and finesse on the inside, decent playmaker. So he has all those capabilities, right, to be an offensive prowess. But here's the question, Monty. He needs to improve his shot. Poor shot selection, poor handles. Now, I don't know if Obi is much better than that. But at least we know that Obi has size and length and he can jump out of the gym. So maybe that's why I wanted to talk about that, because I don't know if this was too early for Ricky to be drafting him. And I don't even know if this is Ricky just going auto pick at this point. I don't remember. But and then Jeremy Sochan was there too, who
Rodman.
that one hurt because I was hoping to get him in the 12th round, but Aaron's like, no, he's going with me. So
And Sochan is the starting point guard.
that's
He's
yeah.
Rodman.
Now that's what I heard. The latest was Jeremy Sochan was the point guard.
Pops' lineup he announced was going to be Sochan, Vassell, what's his name? Keldon Johnson, Wembaya, and the other big now.
Zach Collins. Zach Collins.
Collins at power forward.
I thought it was somebody else. I didn't think it was Collins for some
I
reason.
thought
I thought it wasn't Poto.
Yeah.
No, he went back to Toronto, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Porto went back to yeah, he's not listed on Spurs.
There was another.
Who we talking-
I don't think it was Collins. It
This-
was, God, I can't remember.
Zach
now.
Collins is still on the
It
Spurs.
gotta be
He's-
Zach
he
Collins.
was, yeah.
Yeah, that's who I'm seeing. There's no, I mean, Charles Bediaco, and he's on a 2-way contract.
Yeah.
It looks like,
It
or
definitely
whatever.
Gotta be Zach Collins.
I guess it's Collins for now.
Yeah. So, or it could be NBA's positionless. So Trey Jones going to be out there as the playing the Emmanuel Quickly role. I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, it's gonna fit. It's again, it goes back to, do I trust Popovich with my fantasy players? I don't, but I do like Sochan. So we'll see how that works out. Do we still believe in the Bogdanoviches, either Bogdan or Bojan? EJ, do you still like them in this format or not? I don't like them in this format, but maybe I'm wrong here. Go ahead. Hello? I was asking EJ.
There you go.
EJ, you still there? Oh, there you are. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm here.
Hell no.
I don't. Yeah, no, I don't really even have anything to say. So yeah, no.
Do you believe in Sadiq Bey in Atlanta, EJ?
I believed in Sadiq Bey in Detroit. Sadiq Bey in Atlanta hasn't really shown us much. So
Again, it's hard to shoot the ball without the ball.
It is hard to shoot the ball without
that's
the
a problem.
ball, which is why I said I like Sadiq Bey in Detroit. In Atlanta, I had him on my squad in another league when he was traded, and yeah, it wasn't a pleasant experience. So I probably
PJ Washington.
While he was in Detroit.
PJ Washington going to Aaron's team up in Canada. That one that's a nice safe pick this late in the draft. But it's not just a safe pick. There's also a decent floor, as you guys would say, out of PJ Washington. I know that experts say that he's going to see production go down, but that's a nice pick here in the 12th round. It might be my favorite one here. Oh, there's your guy Trey Jones. I thought he was. I still confuse him with his brother Tyus, right? They're brothers, right? Is that what it is? Yes. Tyus and Trey Jones.
Trey's in San Antonio.
Yeah, only the Spurs can give you a quote unquote starting point guard with a projected total of 21 points per game.
Again, he's not starting.
No, he's not. I had him last year.
That's why I said quotes. Yeah.
Yeah, last year he was supposed to really do something. He didn't, and I think Pop saw all he needed to see.
Yeah, I always thought Trey was a backup. Something I don't know what, but he's a backup. But with the Spurs being so weak,
he's a solid NBA backup point guard.
All right, yeah, you guys got me really questioning myself here. Let me double check. I'm gonna go with ESPN. I just don't like the way they have their setup because it's not very podcast friendly. But I'm gonna go into the Spurs. Eventually, while that thing is fixing itself, let's move on here. Derek Lively, that's an interesting pick. Derek Lively, James, I'll have you know.
Starting center for EJ's team.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So we saw Jarris Walker as my 22nd best rookie. The 23rd best rookie was Derek Lively, even though he's a first round 12th pick overall. His comp was Mitchell Robinson, athletic rim protector, potential shooter, playmakers combination, 7'1", 230 out of Duke, explosive at the rim. The problem is that he's soft, no handles, low free throw percentage, poor rebounder. No defensive awareness. At this point, it looks like he's more of a year 2 and year 3 guy than a year 1 guy. EJ, I know you have a little bit of bias.
Is that the draft profile? Because that's not what I've heard all preseason.
That's what I'm just telling you what I read.
No, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, from the Ringer. Yeah.
Here's the thing about Lively.
Go ahead.
They loved Lively because he is incredibly intelligent defensively. Like they see him as a quarterback on defense. Now, of course, he's got insane athleticism and his height. So they love what they've sent to him. They had pegged him from the start based on conversations that he had with Jason Kidd before the draft process. So while I will disagree about his mindset, he is going to have the same pitfalls that young bigs have, and we've already seen it. He's going to get in a lot of foul trouble. I would kind of shake my head at this pick just because I think he'll be a good player for the Mavericks. I don't think he'll be a good fantasy player.
Interesting. He is right. ESPN has him as a starting center. Dwight Powell and Rashawn Holmes are breathing, as well as Maxi Kleber, who is listed as a 4th string center, but Kleber can actually play second, power forward position as well. Go ahead,
EJ.
James.
I'm not there. I just, from reports that I've read, basically they said he's the starter. They love his defensive upside. Like you said.
We've seen what Dwight Powell brings to the table. It's a big bag of nothing.
And that's what I read. That like. The guy said his competition is Dwight Powell and Maxi Kleber.
Maxi could leave your ass on the bench.
So basically,
his main detraction is going to be, again, if he does the common big man early thing in foul trouble, because athletically, if you're running pick and roll with Kyrie and
Luka,
I mean, it could become a Tyson Chandler Dunk City type of thing.
It could be, but it could be also nothing. Basically, the Mavericks have.
And that's like I said, it's the 12th round. I'm looking at,
Yeah. The Mavericks basically have 0 centers, is what I'm hearing. Okay, good to know. And I'll tell you this one, James. It's better than the Patrick Williams pick. I'll give you that. I know that was Ricky announced that was his homer pick.
Listen, Patrick Williams is on some cocaine.
Yeah, you think so?
I heard that he wants like some sort of $20 million a year deal yesterday.
All right. Yeah, he can get it somewhere else at this point.
Yeah, okay.
Get to stepping.
I don't know. Oh, no. It said that, excuse me. The article said he wants contract starting with a 2, but not with just 1 0 was the exact quote.
What
Yeah,
the
okay.
hell? Yeah, he needs to go.
And I figured that when you read that, Felipe, you started choking on whatever you were eating, if you were eating something at that point.
Wow.
No, I'm on cruise control with the Bulls this year. There's no way to go. They got no potential to go up, but they're too good to be too low. And it's the DeRozan, Vucevic, and Levine, and everybody else. And that's the sad part, is that it's they even when they try, it still sucks, you know.
It's funny because people are always talking about the scoring, but the thing that killed you guys was that ball.
The ball. Oh, right.
He was like that perfect point guard piece for those 3 guys.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
And without him, the team just does not work.
And to give this guy his flowers, deservedly so, not just being the distributor that he was, but the 3-point specialist that he can become while Levine penetrates and DeRozan kicks out.
What he brought defensively at that position.
I was just getting to it. Yeah, the defense is they
so
can't be
underrated.
replaced. It cannot be replaced. Hell, they still can't replace him because now you're stuck with Caruso and Kobe White, and we'll get to those guys.
You mean the guy that Jalen Brunson made touch Earth? Oh, Caruso, that
guy? did he get up yet?
I'm sorry, and Caruso is a good defender, but he's not the type of player.
I'd love to have Caruso on any team's bench. Though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's a bench player. You're right. Lonzo is the starting. He should have been the starting, but he has no knees. So I mean, he's the Derrick Rose thing. But you know what?
So what's up with y'all? Yes, point guards and no knees. Like what the heck? How did that happen to y'all? Like,
I don't know.
People were blaming the balls.
Oh, the shoes.
But I think it's something on the Chicago court.
We are the concrete jungle that no one talks about for sure. Well, I'll tell you this, man. We had Jay Williams motorcycle accident. Ben Gordon, we see how crazy he is now.
Yep.
Kirk Heinrich, he might be the only one that actually was the longevity and the skills, and that's not a good. I mean, 6th pick overall in that 2003 draft, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact about Kirk Heinrich: he's the only player in that 2003 draft that year in 2003. Who got a triple-double? Not LeBron James, not Carmelo Anthony, not D Wade, definitely not Darko Milicic.
Oh my God.
Kirk Heinrich, the only triple-double, Kirk Heinrich of that rookie class in that rookie season of his 2003. All right, let's move on. So yeah, we all agree that Patrick Williams might be the worst pick here. Al Horford, I was thinking about it, but I ended up with Rui Hachimura because Jacob got Al Horford. And so that just gave me the green light to get Rui, and EJ got Dylan Brooks, and there's my second pick in the 12th round was Anthony Black. I'm a sucker for that type of player. I'm sorry. I had high hopes for Michael Carter Williams because he reminded me of the Jason Kidd, like a poor man's Jason Kidd. I'm not saying he was going to be Jason Kidd, like a really homeless version of Jason Kidd. Tall point guard, distributor, can rack up assists, and
about to drop off of a cliff.
Needs to work.
I mean, that's not even weird.
Needs to work on his shooting.
Count Wish.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
that was Timu, bro.
Timu,
yeah. That was Timu.
Yeah. By the way, don't use Timu because they will sell your identity to the highest bidder. So don't do that.
Yes, don't do that.
That's how they get you. So Anthony Black, I don't know if he's gonna pan out this year. I'm hoping. I mean, not hoping. That's just a terrible thing to wish for injuries. But if anybody does get injured, he's in there. Anthony Black, remember that name.
If anybody does get injured, Franz Wagner is still the point guard.
Not when Anthony Black's on the court. Anthony Black. The numbers
2.0.
No, get out of here.
What'd you say?
Jordan
Meeks, I'm telling you.
No, get out of here. Anthony Black was the number 6 rookie in my big spreadsheet here on the other screen. 6'6", 210-pounder out of Arkansas. The comp, we just talked about him. Lonzo Ball, everything's connected. It all comes full circle. You guys want to hear?
So he's got a bad knee?
Oh Lord!
You better stop. No, you better stop that. And actually, Markelle Fultz, I might have the bad knees. Oh no, bad shoulder, bad shot, and everything. So listen, man, Anthony Black fits in very well with this Orlando Magic team.
If he's got a bad knee, then Ricky was supposed to draft him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The negatives. I won't go into the positives because I think I kind of touched on that. I mean, he's being compared to Lonzo Ball. That's a lot of positives right there. The negatives, he's okay athletically, just okay. Can't create space. Doesn't have a shot, and he's a bad free throw shooter. So that's red flags. But Hey, last I checked, assists are worth 2 points each. So,
Isn't Black supposed to be like a very good defender?
Or buckets.
That's what I thought.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, very good defensive awareness is what I wrote down here.
Okay. I heard several things where he's a very good on-ball defender, and then you're unathletic, and it's like, how do those two things are kind of mutual?
He's got a big wingspan.
Yeah, from what I remember, he does. I mean, he's 6'6". So that's an interesting thing that James has brought up. Like, how can you be a good defender and not be athletic? I mean, there's Alex Caruso. Is he athletic? No, he just tries hard, right? And he works hard. And
he's a very intelligent defender.
Very intelligent defender.
He moves his feet. See, but they say he's unathletic, but he has great
hops,
defensive footwork.
And he has hops. I give you that. So, but there's degrees to this, right? I mean, Alex Caruso is not more athletically gifted than Giannis or something like that, right?
Not in your garbage in your room.
Oh, I thought he was saying garbage players.
No.
I mean, here's an athletic guy right here, James Wiseman, right? He has all there's an athletic guy, all the physical tools, all the attributes. He just screams at the very least, this guy, no one's going to score on him because he's just going to block shots everywhere he goes. And it has not translated. And if he can't even get playing time, as athletically gifted as he is, that means that he is really dumb on defense. He has no defensive awareness because there's that. You got to work on that. That's the opposite of Caruso, right? We just talked about that. But who got James Wiseman? Leon. Why? Because that's what Leon does. You guys forgot about James Wiseman? I didn't. That's why he's wise and he's won multiple championships. Can we talk about Ivica Zubac and how underwhelming that pick is? Or am I just being too rough on guys again? Let's start with EJ over there. Or Jacob, let's start with you. I haven't heard from you in a while. Ivica Zubac, what do you think?
He's just whatever.
Right?
He's just that kind of player where he doesn't do that much.
Well,
but he just, I don't know. He's underwhelming.
Very underwhelming.
He was that dude out of LA you thought that was just going to be, oh man, this Zubac guy. Okay, double doubles and everything.
You know, like if you watch him though, he plays well.
No, I agree. Yeah.
The problem is that they keep going to small ball.
Yeah.
Okay, because when he's in there, and they had like when several of the guys were out and they were forced to start him at center last year because Kyrie and PG and all these guys were out, he went on a double run that won me like 5 straight weeks in another league because I picked him up off waivers, and because he finally got 35 minutes a night, he was averaging 14, 10, and 2.
Yeah.
All right, and then as soon as a couple of these guys came back, they're like, you know what? Let's go to small ball because we're going to start losing again.
Was it?
It's like I get that you don't, positionless, and but you need a guy, but back there to erase mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what kills him though? He's a more back to the basket kind of guy, and there's back to the basket.
And they don't have that except for him, so I don't get why they don't play him.
Yeah,
because most teams don't.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, they got to preserve the guy and the foot problems and knee problems. I don't know if he does or not, but those are concerning things with big men like him. Well, I mean, there was other centers that were big men that were taken. Nas Reed. Nas is like,
I like that.
Nas is like, I'm going to Felipe's team. I like the Zach Collins pick. I was thinking between him and Zach Collins. Just Collins's injury history was too damning. But now Nas Reed, every time he goes out there and Cat goes down and Rudy Gobert's nowhere to be found because he's Rudy. Nas steps up big time. Unfortunately,
and learn how to shoot.
And again, Nas Reed is the reason that I still don't understand the Gobert deal, because if you wanted to play two bigs, Nas Reed with that 3-point shooting and defense.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
didn't have to give up 19 picks. He was there. You didn't have to give up 19 picks for Rudy Gobert.
You know who was a good of a pick as Nas?
$70 million a year. What's Gobert making now? I don't even know.
A lot.
How much? Hey, Jacob, how much money he got? A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
This is the case where the Wish version was the better version for your team.
Yeah, I would give away my identity to Timo for Nas Reed. No, the only pick that was better than Nas, that was almost as good as Nas Reed was Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin. Well, okay, all right, Jacob, let's play this game with you then. Obi Toppin or Bojan Bogdanovic? Don't lie to me.
I'm taking Bojan. You know why?
Get out of here!
Because he's consistent. Listen, when he's healthy, he's consistent. The one thing with Obi, trust me, we've seen this with Obi.
Yeah,
Obi can be good.
That's true.
But his inconsistencies is going to kill him. It really
Okay, but
is.
look, but it's the 13th round. Okay.
Mhm.
Boyan is a very safe
You know what,
pick.
Felipe?
Boyan is a very
Felipe,
safe
this goes
pick.
back.
But will you ever start him unless you've got several injuries?
Yeah,
Obi
if
is
they were
finally
Obi,
going to get a
same thing.
chance to start.
I wouldn't start him.
I'm saying on your team in
Mhm.
fantasy here, we're talking about fantasy, not
Yeah.
completely real life, but in fantasy, in the 13th round, Boyan is someone who you know can give you okay numbers. But again, they're also starting to play more young guys, and Boyan's probably going to get more.
Exactly.
Obi has never gotten consistent minutes because of Julius.
Mhm.
Okay,
Bam.
because he likes to play him. When Obi has played over 30 minutes a game, Jacob, what are the numbers?
What? It wasn't 20. Was he in 20? No, he wasn't in his 20s.
Yeah.
Right? Was he in his 20s?
Uh-huh.
What, 29? And I
It
forgot
was
what it
21-6.
Listen,
21-6.
the most important thing
Okay.
is that Felipe
And
got him.
when
Okay.
he starts, his three-point shooting percentage
Oh, it was
is
there.
38%.
Mhm.
But will he start in Indiana? I don't think he's going to start.
I think he will start.
Over
No.
Jarace Walker's a better player than him at this point.
But Jarvis Walker, come on, we just read the scouting report. There's a lot
I
of
don't know.
growing pains there.
See, that's the thing. I just, like
No.
I said, I want Obi. I hope he does well, and I would have picked him.
To sit him?
But at this point, I'm like, I don't really know. It's just for depth because I actually got my big men and everything. He just would have sat on my bench.
Listen, man, Obi is going to be the starting power forward. Jarvis Walker is a work in progress. It's going to take him a while to get acclimated. And I'm sorry, EJ, you were saying something.
This was
earlier.
the round where I did.
Hold on, James, hold that thought. James, hold that
Yeah,
thought.
two things. Number
let's
one,
go with EJ really quick.
Yeah, two things. Number one, Carlisle does not like rookies, so Obi's more than likely going to start. I was going to say, when it comes to a pick perspective, James mentioned the 13th round. I mean, it's the lottery ticket thing, Felipe, like we talked about before. You are hoping for, a lottery ticket with Toppin, Bogdanovich, you know what you're going to get. I mean, so it's pick your poison. Do you want to roll the dice on players, or do you want somebody that if you have to plug him in, that you're going to get 20 points? So I can see both picks. I had both of them queued.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I did. I had them both queued.
And I do like the Bogdanoviches, Bojan and Bogdan. The problem with me is with this situation with Detroit, it's not very good. Now you got Kate. ESPN has Kate Cunningham and Alsar Thompson. I'm butchering his name probably, but one of the Thompson twins as a starting backcourt, and then Bojan has to be the starting small forward. Why? Because they got to showcase him for a trade or something. Because now you got Jaden.
Oh, yeah.
Now Jaden Ivey's on the bench. Your first round pick from last year. So that I don't see that being a long-term thing with Bojan in Detroit. So I think that it's dipping down. And James, I had to stop you there, but you were saying something before I went to EJ. What were you talking about over there?
No, like I said, it's just upside, just what EJ just agreed with. It's just at this point, Obi could be a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
I had him pegged as a lottery ticket in this area of the draft. I did curse at you at this point in the draft.
Good. Yeah.
He said
I'm sure it makes you happy.
Yeah. I like hearing that, because you got stuck with James. You got stuck with Jaden McDaniels, and that was a guy I want to like the guy, but every time I see him, I am just so underwhelmed. What do you see in Jaden McDaniels that I'm not seeing?
At the end of the year, last year, he really stepped up. Unfortunately, he did the stupid, Amari Stoudemire punch a fire hydrant thing, and he knocked them out, and that hurt them in the playoffs, obviously.
Yep.
But again, he really showed progress at the end of last year. Got a consistent role. He can defend. So him and Ant out there together, that's tough. With Gobert back there as a eraser, and him and Ant on the perimeter.
Yeah.
They his 3-point stroke improved last year. He's going to get open shots because people are going to go at Ant and Cat.
EJ, moving on to the 14th round. EJ, Miles Bridges. Should we be happy or not about this pick in the 14th round? What do you think?
Say it one more time, Felipe.
Miles Bridges in the 14th round going to Primo's team. Should we be happy about this, or is this going to cost everybody in the league for not picking him earlier? Thoughts on Miles Bridges?
He was my pick. I had him queued. I was cursing it at Dave. I thought for sure that he was being overlooked and I could sneak him through there. I mean, again, lottery ticket, like the ultimate lottery ticket. He might come back and do something, or what's the guy, the rookie, Brandon Miller? Miller might overtake him. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, he's been out for what, a year now?
Yeah.
He missed all last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I thought at this point in the draft, who better to roll the dice on?
And in this round, it was either going to be, for me, it was going to be either Kobe White or Talon Horton Tucker out of the Jazz. And I was hoping to get Kobe White in the 15th round, and Bob snatches him away from me. So I don't know why. I didn't realize that people like Kobe White like that.
They do?
Bridges just got picked up for violating the restraining order.
Something like that.
Prior charges.
Yeah, I heard.
Now, I had him higher up, and the day before the draft is when he got picked up for violating the restraining order. And I'm like, okay, so they're just gonna tack on some more games now. So who knows if and when he's playing.
Jacob, I know you picked Cole Anthony, but Cole Anthony, that's a bad question to ask you because you did pick Cole Anthony over Kobe White. But the situation in Orlando is very murky. We all know what Cole Anthony can do. I like Cole Anthony. You like Cole Anthony. Everybody likes Cole Anthony, but the Magic. But Kobe White, he might get plenty of minutes in Chicago because they just don't have anyone back there aside from Alex Caruso to play. So I guess with that being said, I mean, do you really think that Cole Anthony is going to have a better year than Kobe White this season?
He shouldn't.
I had Kobe White queued. It was
he
down
shouldn't. He shouldn't. With like, I know you're about to allude. I think EJ's about to allude to it with Alonzo being out. It ain't nothing but air and opportunity. And if you can't pick that up now, Kobe, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
amen.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely,
real.
this is a shot.
This is it for him. Yeah, for sure.
His second shot.
Yeah,
His second shot.
It is a second shot.
Yes.
Leon goes after going back to back with these post-hype sleepers, like these old veteran players like Chris Paul, Kevon Looney, and like all these like the Ben Simmonses of the world. He goes back to back rookies in the 14th, 15th round. But it's not just that he goes young, is that he goes with two guys that basically are mirror images of each other. Chris Murray, who's Keegan Murray's his brother, was drafted by the Blazers to be a 3-point specialist, and Grady Dick, same thing with the what? Grady Dick, basically the same guy.
I just think of that bright
when
red
your
suit
surname is Dick, you really have to enunciate before you name your child.
Man.
Grady Richard here, but really,
there's a reason that my son is not named Balky.
Wait, what? I missed that. What? Your son's name is not Bati?
Balky.
Balky?
Balky, you know, Perfect Strangers, Balky.
Yeah, Balky.
Belky.
With my last name.
Belky Pinos. Oh, hey now. I'm sure the ladies will love that though. Hey, listen, man. Grady Dick, number 9th pick. My 9th best player in this draft out of Kansas. The comps that they were using at the Ringer, Reggie Miller and our guy, Bojan Bogdanovic.
Yeah, that sounds better. Okay. That Reggie Miller shit, whoever the hell said that need to rethink life or something, because
they probably they probably use, because the Ringer, Kevin O'Connor, I think is his name. He uses descriptive words before. So it's not just Reggie Miller. He probably said a poor man's Reggie Miller or shades of Reggie Miller. Get out of here.
Reggie Miller is the most disrespected shooting guard in the history of the NBA.
And I can't stand that snaggletooth bastard, but he is.
Yeah, I know. This is coming from Knicks fans.
Yeah, he is.
Well, here's the positives. The one positive about Grady Dick, of all the positives, I'm quickly naming them because we're gonna we need to wrap this up. Flawless shooter, yeah, good flawless shooter. And the thing about him, he lacks burst and defensive and he's a defensive liability, despite the fact that he does hustle on defense. He is highway Grady Dick. So
Grayson Allen.
Yeah. He wishes he could be like Grayson Allen, but that shot is gonna keep him in this league, like in the mold of like the Doug McDermotts and the Kyle Korvers of the world, except that he didn't go to a small school like they did. Chris Murray, 17th on my rookie list. He went to Iowa. The comparison, Keegan Murray, because they're brothers. Smart player, 3-point. He has 3-point up the wazoo. What's his downfall? No handles. I mean, he's and he's an old 23. Remember, 23 is now old in this league, right? Out of a rookie class. Imagine that.
He reminds me of another Murray.
Keegan
Tracy.
Murray. Oh, Tracy.
No,
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
His game is just like him.
That's a good
No
one.
handles, but he can light it up when he got it. He got the ball.
So interesting. Interesting there that Leon goes a complete 180 and goes with the young guys, kind of proving that he has a little bit of versatility in this draft.
Mhm.
I don't know who Christian Braun is. I did not like the Caleb Martin pick. I was close. I do the Heat, right? It's a situation with the Suns and the Bulls. Actually, the Bulls is a better with when I said Vucevic and DeRozan and Levine. It's in Miami. It's Adebayo. It's Butler. It's Harrell and everybody else, except that they're proven winners. They are. No, not that they win championships, but I'm sorry, what?
Bam, you got Bam.
I didn't get Bam.
Yeah.
Someone else got Bam.
No, I'm saying you said there's Butler and everybody else.
I mentioned Bam.
Yeah,
I
man.
mentioned Bam. Yeah,
Oh,
I mentioned.
say-
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm sorry, my bad.
No, that's all right.
My bad.
I like the Robert Williams pick there, EJ, because I was thinking about it, but it was either him or Isaiah Stewart. I'm a big fan of Isaiah Stewart. I'm glad that ESPN has him listed as the starting power forward. So hopefully he can take advantage because they got a bunch of guys in Detroit with Marvin Bagley, James Wiseman. So hopefully Isaiah Stewart can hold his own over there. But I'll be honest, I don't know who Christian Braun is. I don't know who Bilal Coulibaly is. Jacob, who is Bilal
Braun is
Coulibaly?
He was a
taking
teammate of Victor.
Braun is taking Bruce Bowen's spot.
Yep, he was really good.
Oh, okay.
The Washington's really high on him. I've seen
Yeah.
him play a little bit. Well, of course, against the Knicks, but defensively he can shoot a little bit. Just he's active all around the floor.
Oh my
on
God.
the floor.
I'm such an idiot. He's my 14th best rookie in this class, Bilal
Yeah,
Coulibaly.
he's really good.
I forgot all about him. I thought his name sounded familiar, but no, I would have remembered a guy like that out of
Christian Braun had
France.
Christian Braun had some nice playoff moments last year
Okay.
for Denver. I don't know if he's going to get a bigger role this year or not because Brown left.
Mhm.
So they need someone
Yeah.
to fill that, spot.
So Bilal Coulibaly, my 14th best rookie in this coming into the season, 6'7", 194-pounder out of France, 7th pick overall. The comps that they used, OG Anunoby, who was also picked by Jacob, right?
Damn right.
Yeah, he did. So
Didn't he play on the same team as Wembanyama?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The other comp, Torrey Craig. So bunch of mid is what I'm seeing here. All right. Well, hold on now.
Larry.
I think 2K does the Ringers analysis, Same craft analysis, feeling and floor players, I don't know.
Well, here's a touch from them as far as the scouting report goes. He's strong and he has the physical tools, right? And now I'm just gonna quickly move on to the bad of this guy. Lacks shot creation. He's a raw handler, so lots of growing pains there for Bilal. But I don't know if he's gonna be a guy that you can trust for this season for fantasy. But second or third year, especially that third year, maybe we'll see him expand. Like that's what I'm rolling the dice with Obi Toppin because it's 3 or 4 years since he got drafted.
Yeah.
He has to show us something in, like James was alluding to, he's gonna get that opportunity in Indiana. So maybe we'll see the same thing with Bilal, but maybe not with the Wizards. Maybe we'll see it with another team. We'll see. Maybe with the Knicks, maybe you guys will get lucky. I don't know. Evan Fournier will be the recruiter for that team, for the Knicks. Paul Reed, that's an interesting pick. It's a homer pick, but an interesting pick because you never know what Paul Reed show some glimpses of being a serviceable center last year. I know we talked about Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. As far as I'm concerned, Devontae Graham, KCP, they're the same player in fantasy terms. I know we got into a very heated argument in the chat about KCP, but it's like we talked about. It's the upside versus the safe floor, but no upside guys. And KCP is the no upside guy, but he's a safe floor at this. But I honestly think he's better real life than fantasy basketball.
Yeah, real life. Great bench player, great, he knows his role. He does his,
he knows his role and he shuts his mouth. James, you got to tell me, who is this Jamie Jacks Jr.? You stumped me on this one.
Again,
tell me a little bit about him.
Being down here and beat reporters, they love him.
Rip.
Spoelstra loves
He
this
right?
kid.
Yeah.
He's playing mostly the 4. He's playing some 3 also. And Miami has this gift.
Yeah.
Of finding these dudes.
Yeah.
Who all of a sudden become, their player.
Oh my God.
I've seen him. I went to a couple of scrimmages this year because one of my friends is working for the Heat down there. They love him. And they were using him a lot. They were using him a lot in there, at the 4 and at the 3. He's long, he's athletic. I just figured, at this point, again, it's upside, and the Heat have this gift. And they've lost they let a couple of their gifts go away because they were getting Dame. So they let a couple of guys walk that,
I am such
key players for them last year.
I am such an idiot. Yeah. Jamie Jacks Jr., my 20th best rookie. That's another one I missed completely. He's already on my list. And who is this guy? I don't remember him. UCLA 6'10". The comp. You guys ready for this comp? Kevin McHale.
What?
Again, it might be one of those. Well, he's a public aid version of Kevin McHale, right?
Yeah. He's a Eduardo Nahara. What the hell are you talking about?
That's a good one.
You get me on these damn comparisons, damn it. Shit.
You know what? A couple of the scrimmages, he pump faked twice, so they immediately think of McHale, bro.
Well, I'm sorry, EJ. What was that? I can't hear you. Who's a good comp?
Eduardo Nahara.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. That's what he reminds me of.
No, that's good. That's a good one.
Mexico represent. All right, here.
Don't be dissing our Latinos, Jacob.
Yeah, well, careful now.
No, Nahara was good back then. He was crafty.
Gonna start a race war here.
Hey.
We're gonna get on our Hondas and our Toyotas.
La raza, baby, la raza.
Gonna get on our Ford Corvettes and our Chevy Mustangs. All right. One positive about JJJ right here. The other JJJ, Triple J is the second. Jax Jr. Clean footwork. The negative, he lacks quicks and he has no verticality, no vertical leaps. So Eduardo Nahara. You guys were right. All right. I don't like Lou Dort unless you guys tell me otherwise. I don't like Malik Monk. No, I mean we don't. Okay. Malik Beasley. Oh, so I like how Alex, the new guy, picked both Malik Monk and Malik Beasley.
Same type of player.
Same name, same first name.
He just clicked twice and didn't realize it was 2 picks.
Oh, we're in the 16th round. Of course, Kyle Lowry goes to the Maple Mambas. Trace Jackson Davis. I know that guy. I remember even telling you, James. So interesting, James, do you have access to my rookie sheet? Because you got the 20th best rookie in my sheet and the 21st rookie.
I always go in the late rounds with a lot of these rookies that we scout. We have the same scouting mentality. And Golden State has been looking for a younger center for ages. Mm-hmm. And again, they seem to like this kid.
Well, Trace Jackson Davis is the 21st best rookie coming into this draft in my spreadsheet here. 6'8", 240 out of Indiana. This comp, John Collins. We just talked about him. Who got John Collins? Any of you guys got John Collins in this? I forgot.
No.
Okay, I thought maybe one of you guys, but John Collins is the comp. What's so good about him? He's a lob threat. That's why I envision it as well. Just get him out in the open space, and Draymond or Thompson or Curry or one of those guys will find him on the open court as they go into transition. I could definitely see that. So what's his downfall? He has no shot. He's undersized. He has no rights. He's only lefty. So yeah, but he
has no rights. I love that.
Yeah, that's the one I picked because that's the way they described it. And so far, Trace Jackson Davis is buried in the depth chart as the 5th big man.
Damn.
So it's a project, but it's one. It might. But you know what? I'm also a big fan of Jackson Hayes. I'm still waiting for him, but I didn't draft him like I have in the past. So it might be one of those situations where he just ends up being Jackson Hayes, where he plays like 12, 13 minutes a game for the rest of his career. But there'll always be that mystery about him. Like, man, but he can really jump off the court. Yep. And that's why I picked. I ranked 38 rookies for whatever reason that I thought could maybe have a chance, not just for this year, but maybe for second year and third year. And Jackson Davis is a guy. I like that profile. I'm a sucker for that. So good on you. But it might be too soon for him in this league, even in the 16th round, because he may not be productive this year at all. No. But we'll see. I mean, it's a keeper league.
And again, bottom of the roster, churnable.
Yeah. Taylor Hendricks. I know that name sounds familiar. Oh, the 18th best player on this draft.
You're killing us with the rookies, man.
Well, everybody has its rookies. Angel got a rookie after I yelled at him for picking KCP. All right, well, then I'll just pick Taylor Hendricks, who's a homer pick. Cliff Robinson and Jeremy Grant. Do you guys agree with that? Comps for Taylor Hendricks?
Not bad.
Not bad, right? what's so good about Taylor Hendricks? He's a rim protector. The negative, can he play in the pros? So they're questioning if his game from college can translate to the professional team, professional leagues. So not a playmaker, he needs to improve his shot. But he's also a lob threat. That's why I put him at number 18, because I'm a sucker for that type. And he hustles on defense, so you can't ask for more than that. Andrew Nembhard, what's that? I'm sorry.
He's Hendricks is young. He only had 1 year in college.
Yeah.
And again,
UCF, is that where he was from?
UCF, yeah.
Now in the front court is very little.
Hey man, they got some guys. Where does ESPN have Taylor Hendricks? There's no way he's like a second or third option off the bench at the forward positions or the big man positions.
They have so many bigs in Utah right now.
Yeah. Okay.
See the court unless someone gets traded.
Well, I stand corrected. Taylor Hendricks is listed as a second option at power forward behind John Collins. Interesting.
That's because they list Markkanen at small forward, but usually he slides over. They kind of mix and match.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to see that Taylor Horton Tucker is a starting shooting guard, but Jordan Clarkson is a starting point guard. I know he does very well when he gets put in there as a second unit guy, but as a starting point guard, that might be because Colin Sexton's on the bench. See, what are we doing with Colin Sexton? It just goes. That's why I didn't like that pick earlier when we talked about it. Anyway, Andrew Nembhard, that's the same situation we talked about. There's like so many guys like Andrew Nembhard with Indiana. I don't like the Chris Dunn pick. And I see back-to-back Jazz players. Jacob Oche Agbaji. What can you tell us about that guy? Because when I saw his name, like I don't remember ever seeing him. But tell me something about your guy here.
He's more of an offensive guy.
Okay.
I mean, which that's what I want anyway. Plus, upside is there. Utah team that's trying to figure out their backcourt anyway for the most part. And hey, if I catch lightning in the bottle, pulling the James here.
That's right.
Pick up a young guy, see what happens.
It's him or Taylor Horton Tucker. I mean, we've seen what THT can do already.
Damn right we have. I'm excited.
Right.
I'm excited. I'm not kidding. I expect big things out of THT for sure. But you guys are gonna tell me, well, Felipe, he has this, that, and the other. I don't care. It's the Jazz. They need someone. Okay. If you're telling me Colin Sexton's coming off the bench because Jordan Clarkson's better, then yeah, THT has to. I mean, what? Chris Dunn's gonna be a threat to THT? No, I don't think so. Why is Chris Dunn being drafted? That's what I want to know. Chris Dunn sucks. You know who doesn't suck? Killian Hayes. Now you're gonna tell me, well, Felipe, aren't you bashing us for picking players with bad situations? He's in a really bad situation. But we've seen what happens when the opportunity arises. I had him last year. I always pick him every draft. I'm not gonna give up on Killian Hayes because every time he goes out there, he produces like a star player. May not, he might be a defensive liability. He may. He might just be lucky that he's with Detroit and they got no one else, but every time he's out there and he gets significant minutes, he produces in a league like this. So EJ, I gotta ask you, who is Alex Bezenkov? Because I don't remember ever seeing his name ever pop up. So that's kind of a head scratcher for me.
That is the last year's EuroLeague MVP.
Okay.
I picked him up in Sacramento.
Okay.
And if anything happens to Keegan Murray, he's gonna be the guy that they put in his spot.
If anything happens to Harrison Barnes, you mean? We just talked about that. Okay, so ESPN, right? Because I was looking at them.
I think if I recall,
other website,
Bezenkov and Sabonis have some sort of ties from overseas.
That explains it. All right, so going to ESPN, they have it right. De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes at small forward. So, yep. Keegan Murray at power forward. Sasha Bezenkov as the backup. They call him Sasha and not Alex. I don't know.
Yeah.
I assume that's the guy.
Oh, it's just like, what's his name?
Alex, yeah. In their country, the Alexes are called Sashas.
Just like the dude from Cleveland.
Actually, I got a coworker in my bread job. I have a coworker. She goes by Alexandra. Her name is Sasha too. So we everybody calls her Sasha because of that. So Evan Fournier going to the Brooklyn Nets fan. Why? Why do we still like Evan Fournier? Do Knicks fans even like Evan Fournier?
Well, yeah, whatever.
As a person, I love
him. Person, but he's still a good basketball player. He does this. I think he should get some kind of minutes. As much as they paying his ass, he should be playing. But
he's there for trade purposes at this point. I mean, he can't defend. I don't understand the drop off that happens.
It ain't even defense optional. He just can't.
Because when he was in Orlando, I always thought he was an average defender. He was never a great defender, but he dropped off.
Yeah, because if you can't play defense with Tibbs, you're not playing. He doesn't care how much money you're making.
No, I mean, it got to the point, and for a while he played him, but because he was shooting well. But then when his shooting fell off last year, it was just a void basically. His minutes weren't worth it because he couldn't even shoot. And he
I want to talk quickly about Tari Eason. EJ, you were the first guy that ever mentioned him to me when we did this last year or 2 years ago. Tari Eason, now he's a bench player. Do you see him ever flourishing in Houston, or does he need to get traded to meet his potential?
Yeah, he needs to be traded. Gosh, who is the guy? Who's the famous guy that used to be on drugs, but now he trains basketball players? I think he's with Houston. I can see his face.
What the hell? Terry Mills.
No.
Point guard.
Point guard? Who was on drugs?
Anyway,
I can't remember.
He had drug issues.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, he was saying that he thought Tari Eason was going to be as good as Dennis Rodman from a rebounding perspective. He thought the guy really had a lot of talent. I don't think he has opportunity there, though. Not behind Jabari Smith. With all those other guys that Houston brought in, I think he needs to be moved somewhere else. But he's got talent. He's definitely got skill. And when he got opportunities last year, he really put up numbers.
Yeah, because that's a logjam up in Houston. Because remember, Tari Eason and Kenyon Martin Jr. and Jashawn Tate at one point were those young guys that can run up and down the court and can be big men. And we're probably going to be one of those three guys was going to be the future. And now they're just bench players because Houston upgraded in every position. Let me look at this lineup. They got Fred VanVleet at point guard quotation marks, right? Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks at small forward, Jabari Smith at power forward, Alperen Sengun at center. And then you still got Amen Thompson as your first bench piece. That's a fun team. That's probably gonna be my, if I had what do they call it, the NBA League Pass? If I had that would probably be my League Pass team. And Mr. Irrelevant going to Leon's team, Cameron Thomas out of Brooklyn. He had to pick his Brooklyn net. But do we like Cameron Thomas? I forget. I know we like Cameron Johnson, right? Is the other guy? Somebody Cameron Payne. I don't think he got drafted. But Cameron Thomas, you like him, Jacob?
Yeah, he's a microwave. I mean, he's excited when he gets going. That's about it.
And I'm sorry, EJ, you were saying something over there really quick because I missed it.
Yeah, not a big fan of Cameron Payne. Yeah, Thomas, Payne, not so much.
Were you talking about John Lucas? Was that the coach name?
Yes.
Oh,
who was it?
John Lucas.
Yep. Yeah, Lucas. Thanks.
Yeah. Former Houston connection there. I forgot how. But did he go to Houston University or did he play for the Rockets? Is that what it was? I forgot.
Rockets.
He might have. But I know he coached them.
Yeah, he coaches them now.
Okay. And that's it. That is. Let's see our pretty faces up here. We should do before and after. And Jacob's now gone. Okay. Well, that was all 16 rounds. That's a long podcast episode. But you know what? We were discussing both fantasy and real basketball. It wouldn't be a Felipe podcast if we didn't do both, right? I don't see Jacob, so we'll start with James. James, final words from you.
Oh, second year in the league, and we get to start from scratch. Unfortunately, I had to change my team name.
The Spider-Verse.
But it should be interesting. Yeah, I went from House Giannis, obviously, to the Spider-Verse because I got the Durantula now.
There you go. I like it. I like it a lot.
It should, like I said, I'm looking forward to it starting from scratch. And, since like I said, this is only my second year here, so we'll see.
So I got to ask you, since this is your second year, what give me a positive about this league. I want to hear from you since you're new.
To me, it was a big change. I had only played in daily, category leagues before. So last year I drafted a certain way. And this year, I think I adjusted a little bit more to the way that this works. Because it's definitely different, than doing the categories and daily where you can plug in guys for stats. And there's a lot more ad drops during the week because at the end of the week, you can pick up somebody for a category. The bottom of the roster is basically just completely turnable.
Yeah.
during the week, but this is more of a stability. You're going for averages,
Mhm.
and like I said, to me, the bench players in this league are upside picks. You get a couple of guys that you can plug in, and then after that, to me, I'd rather go upside in this kind of a league because you're not going to play them every week. Like in other leagues, the daily leagues, you're going to draft guys that you can plug in on the days that your primo guys aren't going to get you
Right.
some sort of stat.
Right.
3-point guys, block shot, that kind of thing to stat stuff. But here you want guys that, lottery tickets. You're looking for somebody, okay, all of a sudden this guy gets an expanded role and he steps up, and second, third year guys, maybe even rookies, depending on situations.
And then I gotta hear from you because you've been pretty vocal about, which I appreciate the feedback from you. I think a lot of the changes that I made were because of your feedback, so I thank you for that. Give me a negative about this league, something that we can improve as a league altogether, in terms of just, I guess, anything at this point. Well, negative. You give me a positive, give me a negative. Now I'm a big boy, I can handle it.
I'm not sure if I love the 4-team thing for the playoffs.
Mhm.
Because again, with trades, I just feel like a lot of people are just going to start trading out. They get off to bad starts. You're going to see a lot of trade outs.
Not the draft picks though. Draft picks are not.
I mean, yes, not the draft picks, but you can still see guys trading out for depend. I don't know people personally. I know in some leagues people are just like screw it, and they'll just start trading, with their friends or whatever, somebody they like.
Oh, we're not friends here. No one's friends here with anyone.
What I've seen in some leagues where people like, well, we can't trade draft picks, but it's like a future considerations type of behind the back deal.
I'll tell you this: I would be super surprised if anyone starts doing that in this league, because I don't see how it's possible.
I don't, I know some of you guys, and I know some, we're ultra competitive. A certain number of you guys I know, other guys I'm not so sure about. Like I don't know them.
Right.
But like I said, let me tell you that I dissolved a football league that I was the commissioner of 2 years ago because it got, these were all friends that we played flag football every Sunday. That's how the league started. And it got to the point where people were doing weird things and they were complaining that, I was colluding as the commissioner, because I made trades and, other people didn't make trades and they would get upset. And I'm like,
well, make trades.
You have the opportunity to make a trade and you don't. And then I make a trade and you're going to say it's one-sided.
And this is why I am the way I am. I know you guys I don't know what you guys say really, but I can only imagine like the thought process here is that, Felipe, you're a little bit too rough. You're a little bit too, I mean, that's why I brag that it's a dictatorship, not a republic or a democracy. You got to be this way because as a commissioner, I set the tone for everybody else. Me and Aaron, we set the tone for everybody else. That's why you're never gonna, in any league that I'm in, you should not be hearing about that, about collusion or because Aaron and I are very adamant to keep this a competitive league. That's why I do the things I do with the draft picks. You got to earn your draft pick. You just can't say, "Oh, I'm going to tank for the rest of the season. Here's like 6 of my best players for your crappy players." No, we don't do that here because you still got to earn your first pick overall. So I hope that continues to be the trend.
Some leagues have like the vetoes and stuff like that, and I'm like, I don't love that because
well, we have it too, but I mean,
ridiculous thing. I don't think you should veto.
I still think that there should be some like semblance of some review, at least for everybody to be aware of.
To me, again, if you trust your commissioner, your commissioner should be able to be like, okay, this is.
Oh no, I'm not doing that. No, that should be on everybody else to follow that. But again, the rule is.
But even at that, like I'll give you an example. In the league that I was in, there was one trade, and I can't remember exactly the details, but it was ridiculous. It wasn't helping the one team at all, and he was giving up a star player for like 2 bench dudes.
I would be shocked if that happens in this league, in any of my leagues.
And I didn't veto it. I said, you know what? I think this is vetoable, but I put it up for a vote.
Yeah.
And the only 2 people that voted for the trade were the 2 people involved. That's how bad it was. Like it was like ridiculous. Like I got text the minute it hit the fan. The minute it hit the the thing. Like I got text from like 8 people.
Well, like I said, Aaron and I, the only thing that we worry about is collusion. Is this trade being done to purposely help the other team? Or is this as fair as it can be? That's why we do the reviews, because I think we're down to 1 day. We used to do 2 or 3 days. Now we're down to 1 day. At the very least, the rest of the league should they should know that there's a trade going on. Because if you do it automatically without any review, then the league, it's a good chance the league misses it. And I want the league I want to be as transparent as possible. But at the same time, I don't put it this way. All the people who in the last 3 or 4 years that I've done these fantasy leagues with, whether it be baseball, basketball, whatever, they weed themselves out because
Yep.
I don't allow them to do the stuff that they are allowed to do anyway. EJ, final words from you. Thank you so much for joining us. By the way, I know that you weren't expected to be here, but thank you for hopping on for this entire time. Final words from you now.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you to you guys for letting me get all the early round picks and retooling my team. Love you guys for that. Absolutely love you guys for that. Don't mind that you changed the rule after the fact. No, I like James said, I'll echo that. I think it's going to be. I mean, this is a competitive league. There are very competitive people in this league, and it did not surprise me that I was constantly wanting to throat punch Felipe and Jacob for swiping my cue. So I think you have to build a competitive team in this league if you're going to not get knocked out really quick. So, looking forward to doing that. But, with all the picks that I had, I'm still looking at teams, and there's some really strong teams. So I'm just glad I'm going to be able to be at least somewhat competitive as opposed to, going 3 or 4 weeks with garbage and sitting on the sidelines. So looking forward to that from that perspective, and should be fun. Starting over is always a clean slate. So
absolutely
looking forward to it.
Yeah, by the way, I saw Bob's team has like a projected score of 340 points for that first week. So, oh my goodness, that's going to suck. Well, this is what we paid for. He might be the champion. If he doesn't win the champion, we're going to, pitchfork and torches, right? We're like, loser. You thought you had it. You had it top on it. Oh, Jacob, thank you for joining us late, even though you joined us late. Thank you for joining us as always. Final words from you now.
I'm just ready to go. Hopefully I get back to the playoffs again. I'm trying to get over there at home with my first chip. We'll see how. Oh yeah, it's happening. It's gonna happen. Just a fact of life. I mean, I'm not.
Okay, but LA Knight over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you got Damian Lillard, so your chances are nil at this point. Okay, so just want to point that out. Oh, guys, this is fun as always. Thank you for joining. For doing this, humoring me a little bit. I know this is a weird way to spend your Saturday nights, but you know what? We're all old at this point. What else will we be doing Saturday nights? Well, go to the club, pick up women.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right.
I need a wheelchair just to get into my car at this point, let alone. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and we'll talk later throughout the year. Appreciate it.
Sure. All right, brother.
All right, guys.